welcome to another episode, a super not gay episode of If This Doesn't Work, I'll Kill Myself. This is Nick.
How you doing?
What's
Nick,
up, dude?
son of Thomas. Dead.
Dead Dad.
Dead Dad Club.
Dead Dad Club.
You know what I mean?
Dead Dad Society. We're in here. What's up, dude? How long has it been since I've seen you?
It has been, I want to say 3 years. And the last
No,
time
fuck no. Longer than that.
Right.
You don't, I feel like it's got to have been. Maybe not.
Bro, I want to say it's been like 3 years. Last
Feels
time
like 10.
It's been a minute, man. It's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
At least 3. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And that's kind of when everything fell apart for me. You know?
Yeah,
And then,
again, right? Because
and
it's cycles, same with me.
Pretty much.
Cycles, right? It's not, people, it's like, you're a fellow junkie like
Yes.
myself.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like the healing just isn't linear, you know? It isn't always linear. And it's like, yeah, man, shit comes falling down sometimes.
Like,
you know what I mean?
I used to hate that term, like, man, you won't get clean until you hit rock bottom and all that shit. But like, real talk,
More like cock bottom in your case, you know what I'm saying?
Already, man, you already know what I was out there doing. But no, just kidding. But
No, for real, just kidding.
yeah, no, absolutely, just kidding. But yeah, no, man, it was hard. Like I said, I'd reached my limit, man. I was done. Like I really got.
This
to
is
the point.
post dad death?
Yeah,
And that fucked you up?
Yeah,
You and your
nah.
father were very close.
Yeah, that's
right?
He was really the only parent that I had. You know what
And
I
your
mean?
dad was dope. Your dad fucked with me.
Yeah, my
I like
dad,
your
yeah,
dad.
absolutely.
I like your dad.
100%. My dad was wild, man. Like
He was a coach his whole life for what, like lacrosse or volleyball or some
he
shit?
was
Soccer?
He
Something?
coached soccer coach,
Soccer.
lacrosse coach as well.
Okay, yeah.
CCBC Catonsville.
Yeah.
Kind of a teacher for 30 some years. He was kind of a legend in the area.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like
Yeah,
it's
a
kind of
little
hard. It's
local
like
legend.
6 degrees of separation. Like you always know somebody who knows somebody who knows him. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah,
How'd he die?
He just died in his sleep, man. Had a heart attack, cardiac arrest. You know what I mean? Just,
Dude, sometimes I'll hyper focus on what that would be like.
man, like honestly, it screws me up sometimes because I'm like, man, what was his like last feelings like?
You know what I
mean?
think everyone's last one is? Fuck! Like for real. I really do, man. And that's sad that that's what's awaiting. Like, I don't know. You hope that it's just like, you know what I mean? You're sleeping and then you're not, right?
Yeah. Nah,
But God, I
100%.
worry, man.
That's fair. I wonder what the fear was like for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, I'm all
your
alone.
body's going to send you signals, right? As soon as something's off, your body's going to be sending these signals, which is going to be extreme pain or something you've never felt.
Right.
It's going to be like, I don't know. I don't know. I literally have no idea what I'm talking about. I just hyper focus on it sometimes.
His girlfriend was saying he was like complaining like his left arm was hurting that day and his chest was kind of hurting.
Right. I think I do
But
remember you saying
my dad's like the type to, unless he's in dire need of a hospital or something, he's not going. He's not going. Unless somebody forces him to go, he wouldn't have went. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like my wife called me that morning. My dad's girlfriend called her and let her know. And then she called me and it was like as soon as I saw the phone ring, just something in me told me. Like,
Let me ask you this. When you were doing, at the time, were you doing all right?
no.
Okay, so you were already not doing so hot and then got the call?
Yeah, no. I can honestly say since 14 I haven't been doing all right.
No. But well, right, and you're 21 now, right?
I wish.
But here's the thing, though. You've had moments. You have. I mean, well, we've had moments when you've been doing better than other times.
Exactly.
For sure. It's like different levels of hell.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had moments where I was able to manage at points.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
a functional drug addict or
absolutely.
something.
It always got to the point where I was unmanageable though, and shit would fall out. You know what I mean? It was just rough. Like the only clean times I would have was honestly getting locked up. You know what I mean? Like that shit saved my life. I can't even count how many times I go in there, revamp, get in shape, all this stuff, come out, and then just hit the ground running.
Right. I heard this comedian say one time, he's like, I've been sober for 3 months, and people like clap, and he's like, no, not like in a row. He's like collectively, like throughout my entire life, if you've added up all the days.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought that was so funny.
It's crazy.
I wish I could give credit to whoever said that, but
I'm sure somebody will Google it and find
so you were already not doing so hot and got the call.
Yeah, I was already not doing hot. Got the call. It was like right before COVID.
And the call was he's dead or he's on life support or he's not doing well, or what was the call?
She called and she was like, "Baby, your dad passed."
Oh,
and
yeah.
and I swear, like when I seen the phone and she called, because you know what I mean, she would go to work and like I would just see her at the end of the day. You know what I mean, we text back and forth, but like when I seen her call, I knew something was wrong immediately before I even picked up. And then as soon as she did, it was just like I almost like prepared myself for it the second before I answered the phone. Like, man, my dad died. Like,
right.
It was just a weird situation.
You're like, my wife's calling. She don't even like me.
Right. She wants to talk to me. What is this? But yeah, man, it was rough. You know, had to go over. My sister and his girlfriend were there, and it was just super weird and surreal. Like,
oh,
you go in there,
surreal is a good word.
And you go in there, I mean, it's like almost out of body. Like, I was watching myself do it. Like, you know,
you're just like functioning.
Yeah, like you want some time with him, and I go in the bedroom, and he's just, you know what I mean? He just looks like he's sleeping. You know what I mean? And that fucked me up. You know what I mean?
Did you touch him?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Touched him, gave him a
kiss. Was he cold?
Yeah.
Dude, that freaked me out when I touched my dad and he was cold.
Bro, it was horrible.
To be honest. Like, I'm like, oh, that's not my dad.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, my dad gone.
Oh yeah, no. That
oh, my
soul
dad,
has
my daddy
left that
gone.
body.
My daddy gone.
You know what I mean?
It was creepy.
It was super rough. I still deal with it. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't doing all right when he was around. You know what I mean? Like, I was manageable.
And even if you were, man, that's a big deal. Especially as close as you guys were and how sudden and just like, you know.
It is. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, the hardest thing for me to get over is the guilt. Like, just feeling guilty.
You think it's your fault he died?
No, I don't think it's... I mean, I knew
you probably gave him the heart attack?
I knew, bro. No, I know my sister and I put him through hell.
Yes, but that's not how that works.
And I understand that, but it's like...
I know what you mean.
I didn't cherish the time as much as I should have having him around. You know what I mean?
I couldn't relate to that more. My biggest regret in life. This is so heavy for so early. We should be funnier. My biggest regret in life is not spending more time with my dad prior to him dying because I didn't know he was going to die. I mean, we had 3 months, and it wasn't as sudden as yours, but I was being a knucklehead back then. You know, I was like busy doing heroin, so I'm like not spending any time with my dad, thinking I'll have my whole life to spend time with my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man.
So I couldn't relate to that more, dude. That's the exact thing that fucked me up so bad.
He was, you know what I mean? He was athletic. He was always doing stuff. He was always around, always moving.
Always jovial, quick. You know. He was,
you know what I mean? I didn't expect it at all. You know what I mean? And it just, like I said, man, it just yanked the rug out from under me. Like there was no reason to even attempt to do good anymore.
All the reason, right?
And like I just. You know what I mean? Like, I just went through a deep depression, and I let that shit eat me whole, man. Like, it was rough. I wouldn't talk to anybody about it. You know, I would just self-medicate, and that was it. You know,
and then that self-medication just turns into self-destruction.
Yeah, absolutely.
So quickly.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing about the drugs is they work. People don't the drugs work. You know, the question isn't why do people do drugs, it's why doesn't everyone always,
right?
Because the drugs aren't the problem, they're the solution that becomes problematic in its nature. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? You just wipe your brain.
The problem's inside. The problem's in here. It's not the drug that's the problem. It's you that's the motherfucking problem. Same thing with being addicted to whatever. Doesn't have to be drugs.
But like that's probably the biggest struggle with me though, is just dealing with the guilt, man. Like
but it is what it is. I mean, it's obviously easier said than done, right? But it's like it happened. I think that the best thing this will be corny and gay, but the best thing I think that you could do, right, is live a good life now. And it's I
understand that, man. And like I get that that's cliche, and I'll talk to my wife sometimes, and she'll be like, you know, just think how happy your dad is now that you don't. I'm like, he's dead.
He's dead. I know.
Dead,
yes,
bro.
Yes. I hate that too.
Dead.
You know what I do, dude? I low key hate that too. They mean well. When people say to me, they'll go, you know, well, you just know that he's proud of you right now, looking down on you, and it's like you don't know what I believe. Right. I do not like when people say that. Just know, and I know they mean well, but it's like fuck you, you know. You know, I don't like people just put their belief into your head because they feel bad about it. So they want you to feel better. And I get that. And they think it'll help because they would like to hear it. Right. But I personally am like, what if I don't think that? And now you're just rubbing it in my face that I don't even think that my dad's around to see.
Like,
you know?
The only thing I know for certain is he lived a life. I gave him the memories that he had. And then he died. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what happens after that.
Yeah.
But like, it's just, it's a hard thing to deal with. Like, man. Like he put everything into me and my sister, man. Like
sure.
Yeah. I mean, like, he put all of his energy into us. You know what I mean? He didn't even have a relationship, like a female or anything in his life until we were grown. You know what I mean? And like,
you think he was down low on the gay side?
He was definitely sus. Like,
father, like son.
Absolutely, apple don't fall too far. But Yeah, man, it was a rough time. You know,
Well, you look like you're doing all right now, man.
No, man, I feel great. Like I said, you know, like
I mean, I wouldn't say great. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not doing great, but I feel great. You know what I mean?
Okay, right.
Like,
Well, that's all that matters, right? That's half the battle. Feel good looking.
Like I said, I got to the point where it was about a year and 2 months ago when I started working out. Like,
so okay, well, hold on. So the dad thing happens how long ago?
Dad thing happened
roughly
about 4 years ago.
All right, so then you get worse off, right?
Yeah.
So what is the catalyst from you getting worse off to you got the rock bottom? Would you say?
Yeah, I absolutely
actual
got the
rock bottom, or just this time rock bottom?
No, actual life rock bottom.
Golly.
You know what I mean?
You don't have to get all into it.
I was having issues, you know what I mean? And I just honestly got to the point where I was tired of hurting the people around me.
Really? I was going to say, what was the catalyst for change?
It was hurting people around me.
But you had been hurting, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
And I had
so
been
I'm just
hurting.
curious, was it a straw that broke the camel's back, or was it a huge fucking barrel of hay that broke the camel's back? And you don't have to say what it was. But was it like a...
It was just like, I don't know. I just came to the realization, like, man, like... You know when you're in the throes of it, and you get that subconscious voice just talking to you, like, go get high, go get high, go get high. Like, that's number one concern. Like, I've never prescribed to a religion or anything like that, but if I did, that was the one religion where I was like all in. You know what I mean? I believed in that shit fully
because it worked.
Yeah,
you had proof.
It was I put it above everybody else, everything else,
including yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I come to the realization, like, man, I can't stop, man. I can't stop. So I got one or two choices. Like, I can either keep going and continue hurting the people around me and just continue this cycle, or I can just end it. You know what I mean? So or
kill yourself.
Yeah, and that's what the plan was. You know what I mean?
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. See, because that's always like an option that people don't talk about, and it's like, that is a realistic option. It's not a good option, right? In my opinion, it's the worst option, honestly, in my opinion. But to pretend that it's not like in people's heads who are going through shit like that, it's like, that's an option.
Man, I've been out there doing this stuff for 20 years.
You get tired of it. It's like, almost like someone else you're in a bus and someone else is driving.
It's a full-time job that you don't want to work. You're on call 24/7. Like, you get that phone call at 3:00 in the morning. I'm going through withdrawal. You got to go get, you know what I mean? You got to get well. You know what I mean? And my wife and I got into an argument, and I like I said, I just came to the realization, like, man, I can't stop this, and I'm just continuing to hurt the people I love, the people that care about me, the ones that keep putting their necks on the line for me. So I'm just gonna end it. So I went downtown and
end life or end the addiction?
End life.
Oh Christ! Okay,
end life.
I thought you meant end the.
Nah,
well, you did mean end the addiction, by,
by proxy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Delete yourself, delete the addiction. Really?
Yeah.
Right. That's how extreme it was.
And I went downtown. I sold my phone. Like, I just get however much money I can, buy as much shit as I can, and just end it, and the craziest thing was the shit that I got was called suicide.
Wow,
like, is like ridiculous.
Wow, dude, that's like so strangely like prolific.
Yeah,
I don't even know what the word would be. That's wild.
They're out there, suicide.
I used to love the names, dude. So catchy. The titles of Heroin in Baltimore, they name everything something different. Like, so each block, it's not just Heroin. It's like they have names. It's like
WMD.
It's really good branding.
That's what they did on. Okay,
it's genuinely good branding.
And whoever falls out the most from something, that's the
something
shit that
like suicide. I remember, Tyson back in the day, or when the world was going to end in 2012, there was dope called 2012. It's like anything that'll knock you the fuck out, stuff like that. I remember one called Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Kill Bill.
I remember you telling that story.
Yeah. It was crazy.
But
it is still crazy. But
I go down there, I grab all that.
Shout out to Baltimore. We see you, dope boys.
Greatest city in America.
Greatest city in America.
Them benches,
Greatest city in America, dummy.
You But I go down there, I grab that. I grab I think it was 15 pills.
Jesus Christ.
And
dude.
Everything's got.
You don't even got a big enough spoon to get 15 pills in you.
I was just snorting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm scared to death of needles.
Good. Sorry. So, good. I made that assumption on my own because I was an IV junkie.
Nah, man. I grabbed it, and I called my sister, told her, look, I'm done. You know what I mean? I told her, like flat out, like I can't do it anymore. She's like, man, quit overreacting. Bop, bop, bop. I'll get you in a halfway house. I'll get bop, bop, bop.
She's fucking this and that, and you know how they are.
And she was, man. She's like, I'll get you in a halfway house. I'll get you in a rehab. I'm like, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Like, I'm done. Like, fuck all that. I'm done. I can't. You know what I mean?
Because you've done that stuff.
Exactly. And honestly, like, when you get in that position, sometimes, like, I would tell myself, like, why even try if I know I'm gonna fail and let these people down? Like, if I'm staying here at the bottom, then their expectations for me are low. You know what I mean? But if I go to rehab, they're gonna start getting hope, and then I'm just gonna yank it out from them again, like I always have. You know what I mean? So,
but that's a cycle to stay stuck too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a lie that we tell ourselves. Yeah, for sure. Know what I mean, they keep you stuck straight in the same place. Yeah. Like, I don't know where that subconscious voice comes from, man, but it's loud as fuck sometimes, and it's crazy. But so I grabbed all that shit, took the car, and went and parked in the parking lot, and I put like 6 out at once. You know what I mean? 6 pills. And
did you jerk off first?
While I was doing it, man. You know, I had the belt around my neck. You know, erotic asphyxiation.
I feel like if I'm gonna go out, I have to bust one more nut.
Man,
but I guess maybe if you're depressed, you're not really horny, huh?
Kind of.
Well, I'm depressed and horny a lot. Yeah, actually,
that's
that's like half my
brand.
You're
not depressed till after you bust a nut. Then the shame
half
comes.
My brand is horny and depressed, honestly.
But I grabbed that shit and you know, like I said, I put like 6 out and snorted it. And
Jesus Christ!
I went out, and when I woke up,
you went out, meaning you lost consciousness.
Yeah.
So people don't. Yeah, like
it's
not hard to just take too much and die. Yeah, it's just like your body wants to shut down.
And with the shit that they have out there now, man, like it's
literally fentanyl.
It's all it is. It's that cut with like sleeping pills and God knows what.
And maybe Trank from Philly.
That shit's hitting hard from what I heard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
that's what's eating people's skin away and shit in Philly. On Kensington.
Yeah, no, I've seen it, man. It's crazy.
It's fucking
xylazine.
And then so if you Andrew Callahan, Channel 5 on YouTube, he's got a documentary about it. It's fire. Check it out.
Yeah, no, because of listening to you, I checked that shit out.
Yeah. Wow, wasn't it?
It was, man. It's crazy. Dudes out there, like, it looks like Vietnam out there. Like, it's crazy.
It's fucking insane. You can just go viral just putting a dash cam on your shit and riding through Kensington slow.
Bro, you probably do that shit in Baltimore for real. Spots,
for sure,
like,
for sure.
I've seen
Kensington's
some,
just so concentrated. It's just that street, you know. In Baltimore, it's just spread out a little more.
Yeah, no, they hide in the alleys and shit.
They scurry. Crackheads scurry around in Baltimore for sure.
But you know what I mean?
So you do 6, you go out.
I do 6, I go out. I wake up with the cops banging on my window.
Dude, that's one of the worst ways to wake up, dude. Oh my God.
Like, damn,
I'd be like, fuck, I'd much rather be dead, dude. Cops? God damn it.
But they you know, they because my wife, she couldn't get a hold of me or anything, so she called 911. She's like, I don't know where he is. I know he's gonna do something to himself. I like, please find him. You know what I mean? And they found me or whatever. Take me to the hospital. I'm still like in and out, man. I still got like 10 pills in my pocket.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like I'm out of it, bro. I'm out of it. I'm a mess. I'm depressed. I'm fucking crying.
Well,
like,
yeah, of course. What do you mean? You're like at your lowest.
They
that's like so heavy. You know?
Yeah,
you were ready to end your life. There's nothing heavier than that.
Exactly. I mean, and then at that point, I felt like I had nobody.
That's terrible.
I felt like, man, my wife's gonna leave me. Like, this was it. Like, I've already put her through enough. Like, she's gonna leave me. You know what I mean? And I'm just sitting in the hospital, literally at fucking Baltimore, Washington. And
well, don't kill yourself if your wife leaves you. You fucking simp. You simp.
Nah, I wasn't.
No, I know that was just adding to the cake.
It was just everything.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, my dad's
and
gone.
You felt alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and so I come out. I'm in the hospital. You know. From there, they kept me at the hospital.
Hold on, there's a dope still in your pocket?
Yeah, no, the dope's still in my pocket. they didn't search me at all.
Right, that's what I was wondering.
They didn't search me, and then I didn't even know it was in there, like, because I'm out of it. Remember?
Right. So, remember the thing when I did all the heroin and fentanyl and was out of it?
Like, so I'm in the hospital, and like, I'm in there for hours, and it's funny because the cops know some of the same people that I know and went to high school with and shit like that, and you know, I'm in there, and they take me to a room or whatever, and they're like, let me get your jacket. And I'm like, all right. And as I'm taking my jacket off, I feel the pocket. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, they going to charge me with this? Like, bro, I got new charges now. Now I'm going to get booked. So
you had to sniff him.
So the cop takes the jacket or whatever, and he's like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? I'm like, I forgot.
What the fuck? Also,
I'm like, look at me right now. You think that I know what the hell's in my pockets?
Right.
But yeah,
these aren't even my pants.
Luckily, like I said, he didn't charge me or nothing like that. They kept me at the hospital, I think, for 2 days, and then they took me over to Sheppard Pratt.
Oh yeah, squad.
I was
That's my alma mater too. One of my alma maters.
I was at Sheppard Pratt, which is a wild place.
Yeah,
I was there for
it's a psychiatric ward. So
I was there for 10 days. And
they made you take a bunch of pills.
No, man. They
really.
It was just
can't say the same thing about Bonds of Coors.
Yeah, no, they didn't make me take anything for real. You know what I mean? They Jesus. I was there, and it was wild. Like I said, they didn't medicate me like that. You know what I mean? Did
you just withdraw like a motherfucker? Or
no,
what?
they did give me Suboxone. Okay, you know what I mean, they gave me Suboxone. I was on low dose.
You gotta have it. You know, you gotta do.
Yeah,
something.
no, they gave me that. You know what I mean? But they didn't give me no psych meds or anything like that. They gave me a low dose of Suboxone. I was there for 10 days. I was supposed to. We made a decision that I was going to go to a rehab, then a halfway house, and all that shit. And after talking with my wife, like, man, we just couldn't afford it. Like, I can't afford to go on this 6-month vacation.
Wow, America, the greatest country in the world. Now, honestly, it's one of the best, but that's fucked up.
Yeah, no,
to not be in a place financially to get help, you know, is like so fucked.
Yeah,
that's
it really
so
was.
fucked, man. And that really is fucked.
You know what I mean? Talking with my wife, we had come to the decision like, all right, you're going to come home. Here's what the plan is. Bop, 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 whoop-de-woo. And like I said, I go
every time a woman talks, they're just like bop diddy bop diddy bop whoop diddy whoop diddy what the fuck ever, you know.
First of all, my time there was wild. Like
where at the psych ward? Yeah, let's get into it. Psych ward stories is all I do around here. Remember I said depressed, horny, and then psych ward stories.
It was cool though. Like I met some dope people in there.
It was cool though.
It really was. Like it was like
we've had different experiences
because the spot that they had me in was like for people that had addictions. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Oh wow, that would have been nice.
Yeah, it was a section.
That's literally the place I needed to be. They had me with the lunatics.
Bro, it was beautiful in there. Like, I ain't gonna lie, they feed you like crazy. Like, you get snacks like every 30 minutes. You know what I mean? They're bringing ham sandwiches and whatever the fuck else. They got like, literally a buffet that they bring out in the morning, lunch, and dinner. You know, you get your own room, you get your own bathroom.
Someone needs to shut down Bonds of Coors. Bro, I'm saying that on record.
I think this was like the new like building or whatever. Like, they had just built it.
Yeah. I mean, that's smart. That's what a lot of the problems are related to, right? The problems with people. So it's like that's smart to have a spot for them,
right?
The people who are
absolutely. Now there were still some people in there that were bad shit, fucking off a wall. You know what I mean? But a lot of the people in there, like I said, were just had addiction problems and hit rock bottom. Were like, yeah, I'm gonna kill myself.
Now let me ask you this: it wasn't your choice to go there.
No, it was not,
and it wasn't your choice when you could get released.
They had to do a hold on me, like I said,
72.
It was at least 72 hours.
Have you been to the psych ward before this time?
I'd never been to the
first
psych.
time?
Yeah.
Congrats, bro.
It was my first time.
I trust you more somehow. I feel like when I get it, you know.
Like I said, man, they helped. You know what I mean? Like they really did. You know, they had counseling. You had one-on-one counseling. You had group counseling. Like they really did. And honestly, hearing other people's shit and their situations was like,
made you feel better?
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Most of these people are homeless
and have literally no one.
They're
literally nothing and no
EBT
one.
every month to smoke crack or whatever. Like, you know, I'm like, damn, I have a support system. I got a wife that cares about me.
Educated. I'm like, you know, there's some people in there are fucked.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like
it's so sad, dude.
There was one.
We just don't know how to handle it as a society.
For real.
The crazies.
There was one chick in there. She like they brought in a deck of cards. Like this girl was crazy. Like this girl was
she hot though?
she wasn't bad looking for real.
Well, you were probably horny as hell in there.
You know? she wasn't bad looking, you know what I mean? But she was crazy. Like,
all right, tell me what this bitch did with the cards.
Well, first she would talk on the phone with nobody on the other line, and you know what I mean. You only got 2 phones in there. So
how do you know no one was on the other line?
Because the shit would be beeping while she's like sitting there. Yeah, Dad. Yeah, that's time.
Maybe your dad's a robot,
bro. This bitch got the fucking markers and shit taken away because she's drawing on the walls. Like,
you're like, come on, I was using those.
But the only way I could pass time was playing cards. So there was a couple dudes in there that had been locked up.
You show them a magic trick, they lose their fucking mind, start running in circles and shit.
Yeah, they would have absolutely. But this bitch wanted to fucking take the cards. You know, we just got them. They just brought them in. You know what I mean? And like we have.
So you're excited? Bam! Got the new cards.
Got the new cards. I can play some spades. I can pass these next 10 days in the psych ward. Right. You know what I mean? And she just wanted to take them and rip them up and do all kinds of shit with them. I flipped the fuck out. I'm at my rock bottom. Like, bitch, I got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? I'm like, stop fucking with the fucking cards. I'm thinking it's like jail. They're gonna go put me on lockup or something. They're like, all right, settle down, time out. You know what I mean? But I said, man, there was some wild people in there. There was some super cool people. But after hearing their stories and stuff like that, I'm like, man, my shit ain't that bad, man. Yeah. Like, I'm nowhere near any of these people's situations. Like, and I truly felt like, man, this is it. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm tired of it.
What was your mind state in the psych ward? Are you still suicidal at all? Are you like, what are you feeling? Do you have some gusto under you?
Yeah, honestly, the only thing I felt was
hope. You got some chutzpah?
I had some chutzpah.
Yeah.
Nah, the only thing I felt was hope. You know what I mean? Like, man, I actually can do this. Like, you know, like I said, they got me medicated or whatever, like super low dose. They keep on asking me if I want to go up and shit like that. I'm like, nah, I'm fine with this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this is manageable. I'm good. And, you know what I mean? So I'm just feeling hope. You know what I mean? I'm talking to my wife. She's coming up there to visit.
Right.
She's bringing me food.
Hey, you're not alone. I'm here.
Absolutely.
You're an idiot.
You know what I mean? Yeah, 100%. That's all I heard. Like, don't ever fucking do that again.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
What I mean? Like,
and you know, and it's your life, but don't do that.
Yeah, nah.
Obviously, I hate when people say stuff like that. You're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, no. Like I said, man, it was just. I'm so thankful for the way things played out. Like, you know, I mean, honestly, the past like 2 years since I've been clean, like have been like the best time in my life. Like I don't have to worry about, hey, you want to go on vacation? Like, hold on, let me make sure I got enough shit to last me through vacation and I don't get sick out there and I hide it from you and I do this and I do that. You know what I mean? Like,
it takes up a lot of mental space.
It's so stressful, man, especially when you're hiding it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You gotta move like retarded. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, I'm gonna go to the store for a pack of cigarettes real quick, and I come back an hour and a half later. What happened? Oh yeah, none of these stores right here had the cigarettes that I smoked, so I had to go downtown to grab them. You know what I mean? Like,
see, what had happened was,
you know what I mean? And it's just it literally is insanity. You know what I mean? Like, it's well, insanity.
You said you were clean when you got locked up.
Yeah, no.
You didn't get high in there? Because I feel like a lot of people just get high up in there.
I did.
But not like you didn't have no habit or nothing.
Yeah, nah. Honestly, like, I turned into hustle man when I was in there, so I would get it and
You're selling that pussy?
Yeah, I was selling that fucking ass pussy. But, nah, it was just one. It don't come through.
Did you? Okay, so what'd you get locked up for?
I got locked up for possession with intent. You know, way back in
possession of narcotics with intent to distribute.
Yes, yeah.
Our viewers aren't all criminals.
I figured
I got hit with the pause int.
The pause wit. You know?
Yeah.
But I got hit with that back in like 2008, and that's literally like the only charge that like stuck. You know what I mean? You know how they do? They list a whole rack of charges.
Yeah. And they'll stack you as many as they can stack, and then
to scare the shit out of you.
Stick.
Take this plea deal. Take this plea deal on that.
Spaghetti at a wall. Seeing what sticks.
And you know, I got booked with that in Carroll County in like 2008.
They're strict out there?
Super strict.
Yeah,
man.
that's right.
Super strict.
The court systems in Carroll County are strict.
Like, they
throw the book at you.
This was at the time when they had a bunch of kids in high school, like, overdosing and stuff like that. So they were making examples of people.
Probably buying from you.
He's
like, for some reason, all these kids kept fucking dying at the bathroom in high school. I have no idea.
Yeah, at the time, I was dating a girl that was going to McDaniel University or McDaniel College, and that's up Carroll County. And like I said, I'm driving up there. I get pulled over. You know, cop checks the car, calls the dogs out, whatever. Next thing you know, they find everything, and you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna get a slap on the wrist. So they put me on pretrial services like 2009.
And you fuck up pretrial.
Yeah, because my lawyer tells me, hey, look, pretrial is they just call you once a month, and that's it. I'm like, oh, okay, bet. Soon as we get out of court that day, they're like, piss in this cup. I'm like, I'm gonna be dirty. So I figured out kind of a loophole. I just kept on telling him, hey, no need to piss test me. I'm just going to come up dirty for weed. So he just kept on marking me dirty for weed. So they didn't see all the other shit in there. Right?
Interesting.
So, because
I'm like, they let you do that.
They don't want to waste the money on the piss test because they pay for it. I don't pay for the piss test. They pay for the piss test. You know what I mean? And them things do get expensive after a while.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not gonna lie. They gave me every chance under the sun. Like, you know, so I kept on doing that, and then finally he's like, "No, we need an actual piss test from you. We need an actual urinalysis." So did that. Kept on coming up dirty, you know.
And you're still free though, right?
I'm still free. They hadn't violated me or anything.
Still running around like a knucklehead.
Absolutely. I'm trying to kick. I'm trying to kick because
this is before trial.
Yeah. And because at that time, the only thing I knew about jail and prison was Oz. You know what I mean? The old HBO show. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm going to get fucking murdered. I'm going to have to join a white supremacist gang. And it's going to be bad. You know? But, so I keep screwing up. I go in front of the judge and he's like, look, I'm going to give you, like, literally the day that I had court, I was supposed to take a piss test before court and I just didn't, you know. I told the guy, I'm like, hey, look, I'm running late. I'll see you in the courthouse. He's like, all right. So he meets me there, you know, my pretrial services officer or whatever. And we go in front of the judge and the judge is like, look, I'm looking at your UAs and all that shit. If you screw up one more time, you know what I mean? I swear to God.
He called you and said this?
No, I'm in front of him.
Oh, okay.
You know
Is this the judge?
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm in front of the judge and he's like, if you screw up one more time, you're going to be leaving out of here in the sheriff's jewelry.
You got a pocket full of dope. You're like, yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sitting there. I'm like,
you're in the middle of screwing up. You're like, yep.
Bro, the whole time I got my pretrial services officer behind me, like, damn near holding the cup, like, you know, after this you gotta take a piss. So
he's shaking it back and forth behind
you. Man, so I leave out of there and he's like, all right, ready for your UA? I'm like, I'm gonna be dirty. He's like, let's go back in the court and tell the judge.
Fuck no.
I'm like, what? So I'm ready to leave, bro.
Yeah,
I'm ready to run.
I was about to say that. If let's go back and talk to the guy and about the bad thing I've done. No, thank you.
I was ready to run, man. And we go back in there and literally the judge is like, I swear to God, this is the last chance I'm giving you. I swear to God. I'm like, all right. So honestly, 100% from that day, I kick. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not doing shit else. I'm not doing anything anymore. Like, so I kick. And I had to go back for a piss test in like 10 days. So I go cold turkey. I'm miserable. You know what I mean? I can barely even drive out there because it's 45 minutes. So, you know, skip 10 days. I can go out there to take the piss test. Excuse me. And I walk in, I take the piss test. I'm like, all right, I know I'm gonna be clean. I'm gonna go get well immediately after this real quick though. And I go in there and it comes up dirty after kicking for 10 days. And I feel like I'd been just using for so long because the shit that I was using methadone, you know what I mean? And it's got a half-life. And because of how much I was using, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I feel like it just stored in my system.
Damn, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I did this for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's going to be a warrant out for my arrest. Like, I would check Maryland Judiciary every time before I went up there to make sure there wasn't a warrant. Because I've been in probation before where the dude's sitting there and they're like, Thomas, and next thing you know, the house. I'm like, you dumbass. You should have, like, you ain't got a phone to check, bro. Like, you didn't know you're going to violate. They look all surprised and shit. I'm like, you dumbass. But,
yeah, they'll trick you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So went up there, did that, you know, and sure enough, they put the no bond warrant out for my arrest. And
you made them come find you?
Yeah, they I turned
Did they come to find you?
Yeah. The one time that because there's been a couple times, I did turn myself in once, thinking that it was gonna be easier on me.
I turned myself in once.
You know what I mean? That's a lie. When they tell you we're gonna go easier on you if you come in here and bop and you do everything the right way. You know what I mean? My dad had actually talked me into it. Like, look, you're not going to be out here running around. I'm not going to be dealing with the cops coming here and looking for you and all this shit.
Yeah.
So, this time, like I said, the very first time I turned myself in, boom, they released me again on bond or whatever. And then I screwed up again. You know what I mean? So I just went on the run. You know what I mean? I'm crashing at people's places. Like, I'm just literally hopping from house to house, from bed to bed.
Knowing that this is going to come crashing down at some point.
It's the most stressful thing ever. Like, I'm literally out there wearing 3 pairs of underwear, 3 pairs of socks, 3 pairs of beaters, because when you get locked up, you know what I mean, they'll allow you that many items.
What you got on.
So I'm wearing 3 white t-shirts.
So a lot of people do that in the city. They'll wear these extra basketball shorts, boxers, extra t-shirts, just ready to be in case they get locked up and have to go.
100%, man.
It's very interesting.
I got
yeah.
Three pairs of socks, 3 pairs of drawers, and 3 t-shirts, because that's all they'll allow you to have. If it was 5, I would have been out there with 5 on. You know what I mean? So I'm just literally waiting. It's like I said, the most stressful thing. Anytime I see a cop on the road, I'm like, man, if he pulls me over, I'm done. I'm smoking.
And you're obviously still getting high.
Yeah, absolutely, okay. Man. I'm stressed out.
Yeah, you're on the run. You're not going to be doing good.
There's nothing to lose. Why am I going to get a good paying job? And you know what I mean? Wait for this to get taken from me? Like, so I'm bouncing around, and I end up back at my dad's house for a night. And I'm visiting my sister and my dad or whatever. And he knows I'm on the run. And the very next morning, like we drank or whatever that night, got drunk, go to bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Next morning, boom, 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 hear a knock at the door. Like, I know it's the police. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
they have a distinct knock.
Absolutely, 100%. So I come out, and my sister's boyfriend's talking to the cops or whatever, and my sister's standing behind him, and she's like, go. So I go downstairs. Well, first, I had a rack full of pills. I take them, you know what I mean? Chew them, cotton mouth already, like, take them. I get dressed, and I sneak down the basement, and we have a back
you chew
door
up what kind of, not heroin pills?
No, I had Percocets.
Oh, okay.
I had a bunch of Percocets that I had, you know what I mean?
Right,
I was moving at the time, you know, I just had them.
Got it.
But, so,
chomped them up?
Yeah, bro, it was disgusting. You know what I mean? It's like gum, like medicine gum. You know what I mean?
Medicine
gum.
So,
I sneak out we have a little side entrance at my dad's house in the basement, kind of like you do. You know what I mean? And I sneak out there, and I'm creeping up, and I hear them everywhere. And like you would have thought that I killed somebody, like at the amount of warrant officers that they had. Yeah,
they really take it. They make sure to be careful,
bro. 100%. And so I hear them all. I hear the chatter on the radio. Like you hear the keys jingling.
God, it's so
the cuffs.
bad. It's so bad. Your system at that time. It's just such fight, flight. It's just all freeze. It's all the things at the same time. It's like, it's just so overwhelming. It feels like your world's closing in on you, because it is.
So I creep up the stairs or whatever, and I'm going into the backyard, and we had this old lady neighbor that lived behind us, and she sees me, and she's like, you know what I mean? Like, she's helping me out. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, bet. So literally they can't find me. I go back in the house or whatever. I think they left. You know what I mean? And I see one go across the bay window in front of my dad's house. I'm like, shit. So I go to hide in the attic, right? So as I'm getting into the attic, I go to close the attic door, and it slams shut. And next thing I know...
Oh, because it's spring-loaded at the end.
And I hear... And I'm obviously not moving correct. Like, I'm not in my right frame of mind.
Sure.
So that slams. Next thing I know, I hear all the cops. He's in the attic. He's in the attic. Bah, 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 bah. So I go to the back of the attic, and I'm just hiding in the corner thinking, maybe they won't find me. You know what I mean? So the cop comes up there, points his gun directly in my face.
You're on some, I can't see them, they can't see me.
Man, I was on my ostrich shit. Let me just hide my head in the ground. But they come up there, point the gun at me, tell me come down. They're
making sure you weren't like you're a caged animal over there.
Bro, one of the craziest things though is like one of my best friends from high school was literally one of the cops there. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And for him to see me like that, you know what I mean? Like,
that'd have been funny if it was somebody you bullied in high school that shot your dumb ass. He just shot your dumb ass. So, put the gun down.
For real, man.
Sorry, I didn't have one.
I seen him, and like he's like, "What's up, Nick?" And I just
be nice to people. You never know who's gonna be pointing a gun at your face.
I just put my head down, like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like, you know, got booked on that, and
you went to jail.
I went to jail, like
for the first time.
Yep, for the first time. They gave me, Crazy thing is they gave me 4 years. You know what I mean, they gave me 4 years, all suspended, but 18 months for my very first charge, very first crime ever.
For someone with a drug addiction.
Yes.
And someone who doesn't need jail, they need help.
Absolutely. Yeah. But this jail, I will say, they did better than what most jails do. They had jail? It was Carroll County Detention Center.
You had to go to Carroll County.
Yeah, I had to go to Carroll County Detention Center. Like, food's amazing. Shout out. You know what I mean? But if you're going to go to a jail, make sure it's that one. But they have a program inside the jail that my lawyer got me into.
You got the good psych ward and the good jail.
Yeah. Man, it's luck. Luck, man. What can I tell you?
Hey.
But they put me in the program or whatever, and it was supposed to be a 6-month
drug program.
It was a drug program in the jail. It's really regimented. It's pretty strict. You know what I mean? You got to wake up first thing in the morning. You can't sleep all day. Like, they have meetings coming in all day.
They had you working out? You were working out?
I was working out. You know what I mean? I
Did you squat up with people? Or were you like a solo dolo guy?
I had a couple people that I was cool with. You know what I mean? Like, there was a couple dudes in there that I get close to, but I don't try to click up or nothing like that. Like,
yeah. So you didn't join the white supremacist gang?
Nah, not this time around.
That was later on.
Yeah, no. But I'm in there doing the program or whatever, and you know what I mean, it was actually a good program. Like
nice.
I said,
I love to hear that. Because I'm big on prisons, or it was jail.
This was jail.
Right.
This was jail.
Yeah.
They had a dude in there named Kevin Amato who, man, I owe him a lot. Like,
you should get a hold of him.
I thought about it.
You know his whole name.
Yeah, no, dude was like, when I say he like, dude was a gangster. Like, he 100%, like, he had a lot of pull in Carroll County. Like I said, they gave me 18 months, a year and a half. They gave me.
And he's a go ahead.
He's
a prisoner.
No,
he's a staff member?
No. He's a staff member. He's the head of that drug program in the jail, and he has a lot of pull because Carroll County, like I said, was going through all their shit, and they put a lot of faith in this man.
Is he an ex-prisoner?
No, he was an ex-addict.
Okay,
you know what I mean, but he didn't really have jail time or anything like that. But he was so cool to me, man. Like I said, I did the program. It was supposed to be 6 months, and they told me if I complete the program,
you'll get time reduced.
Yeah. As soon as I complete the program, I'll
be. Oh shit!
So boom. First, they told me the program was 4 months. So I'm like, bet I'll do 4 months, get out, whatever. Then they told me no, actually the program's 6 months, right? So I do the program though, and after 4 months, I'm supposed to have a court date, you know, a sentence modification or whatever, and so I do the program. I'm in there. Like I said, he helped me out. He would take me downstairs and let me do phone calls with my dad. You know what I mean? Like private phone calls, you know, not having to use the jail phone or whatever. He would talk to my dad one-on-one. Hey, look, this is
he's probably going to get in trouble for that.
This
is a very big podcast. Look, this goes far and wide.
I'll tell you how
we have hundreds of thousands of people watching us right now.
He had even more pull than that, though, because... Like I said, man, I was supposed to have a sentence modification after 4 months, but then my lawyer screwed up and he set it for 6 months. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there after 4 months of completing the program, I'm sitting there and I think I have court this day. You know what I mean? After I did the program, all that shit. So I'm sitting there and I'm dressed and I'm ready to go to court because I think I'm going home today. And the way it happens is corporal will come in and he'll be like, hey, all right, this person, you got court today. Go ahead and get dressed. So homeboy comes in, he says that, and he doesn't call my name. I'm like,
excuse me?
Yeah.
Hey, can you recheck the list?
I did that.
I'm on the list.
I literally went to him. I'm like, am I set for afternoon court? He's like, no, you're not on the list.
I'm later on today.
Right. Like, am I going home today? Because I already gave all my shit away.
Right.
Like,
oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So... I'm sitting there and he tells me no. He tells me no on both accounts. Like, you don't have court today. So I'm sitting there. I'm mad as shit. Like, damn, I thought I was.
Did you really give your shit away?
Yeah, 100%.
Because when you're getting out, you know, you give all the snacks you have away. You're not going to take your fucking soups with you and shit.
It's bad luck to take anything home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Leave that shit in jail so then you divvy it up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen dudes leave out of there in their orange shorts and their white tee. Like, bro, what are you doing?
They're
like,
about to come right back. They're about to come right back.
That's what everybody says. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there and I'm mad as shit. Like, man, I thought I was going home today.
Oh, dude, that's so horrible psychologically, too, just to feel like, you know, when you feel like you're about to get off work and your boss makes you stay late? This time's fucking 1,000.
Exactly. You're in there, all you smell is armpits and assholes. Like, dudes stink. Like, you're in this small little shoebox. It's literally, the day room's no bigger than this. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there, I'm mad. And the dude Kevin Amato comes in and he sees me sitting in a group or whatever, and I'm just sitting there like sick. I'm like sick, man. Like, what the fuck? You know, and you gotta imagine I'm 22 at this time, 23, you know, so I'm a young kid, man. Like, I want to go home, man. Like, I have no idea of what patience is or anything like that. So they come in, he comes in and he's like, Nick, what are you doing? I'm like, they said I don't have court today.
I'm pouting.
He's like,
I'm throwing a temper tantrum. Thank you very much.
He's like, you're supposed to be in court. I'm like, they said I don't have court today. He's like, hold on.
Get closer to that mic.
He's like, like pause.
You can pull it towards you.
Gotcha.
We'll edit that out. Don't worry.
So
I dropped this thing last time too. God damn it.
So he comes in and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, man, they said I don't have court today. He's like, hold on. I'm like, hold on, what? What are you gonna do, bro? You're gonna get me on the docket today? You're gonna what? You know what I mean? What are you gonna do? So he literally comes back 2 minutes later. He's like, get dressed. I'm like, all right, bet. Like, where are we going? You know what I mean? He takes me out to his car.
What?
Like, takes me out to his car.
Oh, that's crazy.
Drives me over to the courthouse.
He made you top him off on the way?
Bro, you know, I would have if he asked, bro. I'm going home today? What you mean? So,
that's crazy.
He takes me over there, walks me into the courthouse. You know what I mean? We walk into the back of the courtroom as court's in session.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to that guy.
Yo, and we're standing there in the back of the court. As soon as that case is done, he like looks at the judge, and the judge
He's
is
like snapping at the judge.
Yep, pretty much, man. The judge is like, you know, I mean, come on up. And then
to let your ass go?
Yeah. I mean, he told me, he said, tell the judge why you deserve to go home. And I was like, all right.
First of all, Your Honor, I'm white. I don't know if you've noticed, but in this prison system, yeah, this ain't apparently what you guys want.
But yeah, man, I sat up there, told them, and they took me back down to the bullpen or whatever, and I got released. You know what I mean? That day, like that guy, like I said, I owe him a lot. And then it sucked though when I violated that shit and had to go back and see him walking around. Like, he's like, "What are you doing here?"
Because you couldn't get back in the program.
I didn't want to get back in the program.
Right. You're like, I did that.
I didn't want to get back in the program.
So you went back to Carroll County Jail?
Yeah, I went back to Carroll County Jail. I did like 15 months on 18 months the second time around.
So you did 4 months the first time in the program.
Yeah.
And then when you went back, you went back for the same case, basically.
They give me 18 months.
It's all from the same case.
All from the same case.
All from the same one thing, because then you get on papers. This is a whole trap, right?
Yeah.
You get into trouble, and then before you even go to court, before they even find out if you're guilty or innocent, right? You get charged with something, and then you go to court to fight your case. That's how it works. Yeah. Well, you get charged, and then someone like Nick gets put on pretrial, which basically puts you on papers.
Yeah, it's probation.
So you're on probation before you even get to go to court, okay? And have your day in court. So then you're already on probation. Then if you mess up at all, you're fucked. You can go to court. They go, we'll give you 4 years, but it's all suspended, meaning that you get to go home. But if you mess up again, and you're a drug addict, so you're gonna mess up again, it's a revolving door, dude. Being on papers is like being kind of free.
Yeah, it's really crazy because they put you there, like there's no rehabilitation whatsoever.
Right.
Like none.
They penalize you and then shame you and then put marks on your record and then send you out into the world to do good.
Yeah.
And then when you don't, they wonder why.
They literally throw you into a situation with a bunch of criminals that are either lesser than you or more powerful than you. You know what I mean? And everybody, their number one goal when they get locked up is let me find the plug. Let me find the plug. Let me find a good connect. Let me do this. Nobody's goal in there is to, let me better myself unless you're an old head, and most of them are doing life anyway. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of them guys. But
so this experience was very different than the first one because you weren't in the program, or no?
Yeah, no, it was very different. Like I said, it
and how old were you this second time?
Like I did it
just a year later or
like
something?
20. I was 25.
Okay.
I want to say like 2 years later.
Same case.
It was 2009, 2011, 2013. So like every 2 years, I was built for one, like a bit, you know. So I go in, I do my time. It was different.
Did they offer you a program or anything, or nah?
Nah, they didn't offer me a program. If I would have signed up for it, I could have done it. But I'm like, man, at this point, I might as well just knock this off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I knew me, and I knew I was going to go back eventually. You know what I mean? So let me take this big chunk off this back end.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I only got 2.5 years or 22 months left, whatever it was.
Right.
And
so then you're incentivized even, right?
Yeah.
To rather just do the time than to try. It's like, I'm going to have to end up doing this because I know out there I'm going to get fucked up.
Exactly. The only thing I wanted to do was get some good days. You know what I mean? Because that still goes towards your sentence. If they give you 18 months and you only do 13 on it, you still get credit for the 18.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you get locked up back in Carroll County.
Yeah, I get locked back up in Carroll County.
Or you get locked up and they take you there?
I get locked up and they take me there.
Gotcha.
The second time that
because that's where you caught the first case.
Absolutely.
Anytime you get in trouble anywhere, they take you back to that county you had your problem in.
100%, man.
That's why
and honestly, I wanted
City.
to go back because the second time I got booked, I was literally in the city, you know what I mean, doing what I was doing, and I got pulled over on the way back, and I had the warrant out for my arrest, you know, so I had to go to city jail first, you know, and get booked.
Beautiful
there.
In there.
Jesus
I've
Christ,
I've been to Baltimore City Jail. You want to talk about nice?
Oh my God. I'm telling you that place is wide open. That's why they had to shut that shit down back in like 2013.
It was unlike
14.
anything I had experienced. I only spent like 15 days there, and I'm like, what is this place?
Anywhere else you want the bottom bunk because it's just easier. You know what I mean? Sit on your bed, sit on your rack, whatever. Anywhere else you want the bottom bunk. In city jail, you want the top bunk because of the amounts of mice and rats in there. Like literally,
it's gross.
When you go in there, they send you through bookings and all that stuff, and then you go to 4 North. You know what I mean? Which is upstairs, which is like it's a little more open, but you've officially been booked now, and then they're gonna find where to place you from there. So I'm in there, and what they do is they give you styrofoam trays or whatever. Like, hey, here's your lunch, here's your lunch, here's your lunch. And it's locked down 23 and 1, so you're down for 23 hours. You get out for 1 to take a shower.
Yeah. It's terrible. And what people don't realize about the intake is it's prior to their classifications.
Yeah.
So listen, the intake. This is what people don't get. So it's like if you're locked up for something as simple as a drug charge or a violation of probation or something, no matter what it is, right? You get to the intake. And you're in there with people who are real criminals, right? Yeah. You wouldn't think that you'd be in with real criminals. And once they classify you, you won't. But in that intake, you can be sharing a cell with a murderer, bro.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's insane.
The kid that I was in there with,
it's the most dangerous time because everyone's mixed together. No one's even classified. There's major crimes, there's minor crimes. Everyone's just like this. Fucking crazy.
It was wild because the kid that was my cell buddy, you know what I mean? He was like, it couldn't have been a day.
I like how you say cell buddy instead of cellmate.
Yeah, no, that's buddies. It's a cell buddy, man. That's just. That's
what it was, right?
It was weird the first time I heard it, but that's what everybody called it. Your celly, cell buddy, whatever.
Right. Yeah, I think I hear celly a lot.
So I was in there or whatever, and you know the kid couldn't have been a day older than 19. And I'm like, "What's your charges?" He's like, "Grand theft auto." Like he's like bringing down a rack full of shit, unregistered handgun, reckless endangerment, all this stuff. I'm like, bro, how much is your bail? He's like 1.5, like $1.5 million.
He was on some GTA type shit out there.
You know what I mean? Known BGF member. Like
yeah, I was in a set. I was sharing a cell with a known BGF member. He had 276 Untamed Gorilla tattooed on him. Had his dude, that was crazy. BGF's Black Gorilla Family. It's a huge gang in Maryland.
Yeah, it's
in the Maryland prison system.
They like real talk. I ain't ratting or anything, but they run Baltimore.
That's a known thing. You're not rad, but also. The Muslims have a lot of pull.
Oh my! Muslims are the biggest gang. What are you talking about? Nobody
listen
with them.
For real though.
White boys will join Muslims and praise to Allah just so they don't get fucked with.
Listen, like, people don't realize this, right? Because it's a religious group, obviously.
Nobody fucks with the Muslims.
In the prisons, because they're a religious group, they're allowed certain like meetings and like certain like they're afforded certain luxuries that a street gang is not, and they have big numbers and obviously like it's just interesting how much power they have.
Absolutely.
Because when you go in, you think like, oh, they're the religious people, and it's like, well, they got their hands in some shit.
They've gone to war, boy. Like they've gone to war with other gangs. And nobody fucks with them. The COs don't fuck with them. The Slims.
The Slims. Like Theo Von calls them. Yeah.
But yeah, man, they definitely do have pool. But it was wild in there, man. Like, you know what I mean? Certain places I've been, like I said, their search is extensive. You know, the squat and call, bend over, let me check your cheeks, all that shit. Open your mouth, you know, show me everything. You go in there, like I literally started to do that because I'm just institutionalized. You know what I mean? So I started to take my pants off, and it's a lot of Africans that
not African Americans.
No, Africans. Like, you know what I mean? Like. Yeah, straight from Africa. You know what I mean? It's a lot of them that work there, and they're like, no. What are you doing? I don't want to see that. I'm like, bro.
I'm so happy we got the accent out
bro,
of you.
Like,
Count it.
For real. They, you know what I mean?
They're mad that they're even there. They're just like,
they don't care. They're sitting there, and I'm like, do you know how much shit's getting upstairs?
They don't give a fuck.
That's the last.
Do you know how little they're getting paid? Do you know how fucking much they have to deal with? They're like, yo, I do not give a fuck.
No, they really don't, man. They really don't. That's a wild place. And like I said, man, that was around the time when
the gangs own the phones. A phone will be upside down. You like can't touch that phone. Like one of the pay phones, they own it.
They'll tie.
Bro.
Yeah, they'll tie a rag.
Interesting politics in that bitch.
Yeah, if you go to a phone and you see a color on it, like they'll have something tied off on it. Might be red, might be black. You know what I mean? If it's black, it's BGF. If it's red, it's Bloods, blue, Crip, all that shit.
It's insane. And the amount of money that gets thrown around. So when I was in there, and again, I wasn't in there long, a couple weeks, it was like I wanted money to do stuff, right? So I call old Sheila. Shout out to old Sheila. You know what I'm saying? They have these green dot cards, right?
Yeah, they had to stop doing them. They do some other shit now, but the green dots are...
Back when I was in there, they had these green dot cards. So you get somebody on the outside to buy you a prepaid Visa green dot card for $50, $100, whatever you want, $20, whatever it is. And they give you the number to it, right? So you write that number down. But then you change one of the numbers because if someone finds your number, they can take your money. Yeah. So you're like changing a number and like trying to remember. It's bizarre. It's a lot of money getting thrown around in that place. And like you said, it's wide open. People were smoking. Everything that's on the streets, drug wise, is right wide open in Baltimore City Jail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or was when I was there.
Like it's crazy now when I'm on YouTube and stuff, and I see literal like videos getting posted from dudes in jail. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, you're putting yourself
There's
out
all kind of videos.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You could get on a YouTube rabbit hole of videos from prison and jails.
Like there's no way I would not be a crooked CO. Like you can get $100 for a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me?
More now. I bet. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's like, you know what I mean? Back in the day, it was like $5 for an Uptown Newport. You know what I mean? Like,
I bet you it's 20.
I'm sure.
Because you can break that down into fucking 4.
It's
insane, crazy what they're doing, dude. It's like so much money that is going around in there, and so many drugs, and so much corruption, and the people are just fucking the COs, and COs are bringing them home cooked meals. It's insane what's going on.
That dude that was in City Jail, the one that got City Jail shut down. Yeah, you know what I mean,
and that shit was going on.
Yeah,
not just him.
Got like 3 of them pregnant.
Yes,
he got 3 different COs pregnant. They were doing right around the same time. I think it's Tavon White or something like that.
I'm telling you. So the female COs go in there, and they get there. Some of them are dog-looking bitches, and they go in there and they get all this attention because it's like, and these guys couldn't be smoother. They're not strong-arming these women, right? They're like smooshing them and smoothing them out of it.
Honestly, it's so disgusting to see because me, like,
you can see it, you can watch it.
I'm like, really? You wouldn't give that bitch fucking 2 seconds on the street?
It's so blatant.
I play it the opposite. I would just ignore them, and they'd be like, Taylor, you okay? What's going on with you today? Bah, bah, bah. Like, man, but you see these dudes. You see these COs come in, like especially like the one spot I was in Allegheny County Detention Center, and that was around
a different time.
Yeah, at a different time. It was around when, like I said, they shut City Jail down, so there was overcrowding. You know what I mean? So they would send people that were supposed to go to City Jail, like, other places. There was like contracts, they might send them to Anne Arundel County Detention Center, they might send them to Carroll County, they might send them to Allegheny, they might send them to a prison, WCI. Like they were sending them everywhere, you know what I mean? But you'd see like a new female CO come in, and you watch instantly see the satisfaction they get of being thirsted over. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, that feels good. No matter who you are, it does.
It does, man. But like,
you have to see what it is for what it is.
Exactly. Within a week, this bitch thinks her shit don't stink. She's fucking walking around with an attitude and all this shit. Like, Jesus Christ.
So if you have low self-esteem as a woman, become a CO.
Go ahead, become
and
a CO.
You'll make a shit ton of money if you can sneak Newports in your ass.
Absolutely, bro. You will be lusted over, thirsted over. Like,
they'll treat you like a goddess.
They really do, man. It's crazy, but like I said, man, you hear stories and shit like that. Like I said about that dude getting them 3.
Dude, Baltimore City Jail sucks so much dick. Dude, when we got on lockdown for something, I don't know. They said there was some altercation with a guard, with a CO, and they locked us down. And it was like steel side, like the equivalent of steel side, where there's like lines of rows, dude.
Old school style.
So yeah, this old school style where literally like from old movies and shit, where all the cells are facing the same way, and then there's levels of them, right? And there's like a few feet and windows on the other side, but like it's just rows of people all facing the same way, and it's 2 of us, and we were in the cell for multiple days at a time. They wouldn't let us go out and get a shower. We were on lockdown.
No, and then
they don't give a fuck about that, right? And then check this out. It was so interesting. It was interesting what they did with the person would come through and sweep the hallway. And he would have a lighter, and he would light the first person in the cell. Everyone in the cell, every single one of the cells, there's 2-man cells. Every one of them creates a wick, right, out of toilet paper. They spin it. Even if you don't have nothing to smoke, you create the wick because you have to pass it along to each cell. Because you can reach over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's so cool to me. It was like literally out of a movie, bro. It's like, neat. Yeah, I know. I had to learn about it and then do the shit, you know, and then, the first guy lights it. The guy who's moving stuff, you know, he passes his little notes and shit and lights this thing.
Like the Olympics where they pass the torch.
Exactly, the passing of the torch. Yeah, it was crazy. And then the worst problem was, dude, the guy on this end of the floor knew the guy on this end of the floor, and they would not shut the fuck up. It was like,
you just hear yelling back and forth.
They would, it was so crazy, bro. I'll just never forget how they talk to these two specific guys. When I say they, this guy would be like, do you remember me telling this? He'd be like, he would just be like, so let's just say their names are Justin and Nick. He'd be like, hey, Nick, say right. And then you'd be like, right. Every time, that's how you'd start the conversation. Hey, Nick, say right. Right, and then you go ba 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 ba. You heard me. Every single time it would end with the you heard me. One word. You heard me. And, hey, Mike, say right. La 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 la. You heard me. It's just like all fucking day long.
The worst is when you're trying to sleep. And
oh my god, they don't give a fuck.
No, it's crazy how you get used to it. It's crazy how you get used to it though, and you can block that shit out.
Dude, yeah, it was just part of like a tape that played all fucking day.
Man, like I said.
Dude, it was unreal.
It's not even a conversation.
Well, they would say things in between. Okay. Yeah. No, that's just how it would start and end.
Like,
hey, Mike, you seen that? I'm talking about what the fuck ever.
Like
it was just a sign on and a sign off that was so funny to me.
Like the ingenuity that they come up with in there is crazy. It's impressive. Man. Like
it's like absolutely.
You know what I mean? I've never in my life knew you could make a lighter out of two batteries and a razor blade. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's wild the first time you see it and they set that shit on the.
You're like, this ain't gonna work.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? Then they put the little piece of metal that connects them. Then you see that shit start to heat up. All this for a fucking little tiny ass cigarette. Like it's wild. And then the way they fish stuff, you know what I mean? From cell to cell, that is impressive. You know what I mean? You got the guy in the top tier fishing something to the dude on the bottom tier.
Dude, it's so interesting in there, man. It's a whole different world that people don't know about. You know?
It is. It's wild, man.
And it's interesting how big everyone is on like respect and germs and cleanliness, and like it's like y'all know y'all weren't living like this on the street.
Nah, man. Like
but people get in there and they really do. Like there's all these politics.
You better have manners when you go in there. Like you better not reach over somebody's food. If you want the salt, you better. Hey,
I accidentally put my drinking cup in the in the cooler of ice,
man,
instead of like the ice cup. Oh my god, they were on my ass, bro. They were on my ass. I'm like, bro, I'm like young as hell. I'm like dope sick. I'm like, guys, I'm new here. You know, I'm sorry.
It's a bunch of little rules, man.
Yeah. I mean, that was stupid of me, but yeah.
Like when you brush your teeth in there, like you gotta spit in the toilet. Like you don't spit in the sink.
Yeah, you know weird little things like that you have to learn. Yeah, a lot of shitting rules.
A lot of people will like cook in their sink. They'll wash their clothes in their sink. They'll do their laundry and stuff like that. Sure. But it's just like an unwritten rule. And it wasn't up until like a year ago that I stopped spitting in the toilet. Still,
outside of jail.
Outside of jail. Like just freedom. Like brushing my teeth, spitting in the toilet. Like it just felt wrong to do. Like I really couldn't even tell you because
he still lights his cigarettes on batteries.
For real, man. It's just a lot of wild, weird shit in there, man. Like I said, like I wasn't even in there that long. You know what I mean? Like real talk compared to some of these people
for sure.
that 20 years, 30 years. You know what I mean? Like
you do that stain on your head.
They say shit
like that.
Oh my god, man! I heard stories about that. You in front of a judge. There was one in Towson, and it's probably a lie. You know what I mean?
Let's hear it. I love it.
But dude's in front of the judge, and he's like, judge is like, all right, 5 years. And dude's like, man, 5 years, I can do that stain on my head. All right, let me give you another 3 to get you back on your feet. You know what I mean? Like, you hear these stories like that.
Yeah, there's so many stories, bro. And there's so many people, and everyone has their own story. It's very interesting.
Like, it's crazy to me how easy it is for a judge to just hand out time.
A human being,
like it's
to
crazy.
have that much power.
You don't know what he went through that morning that could affect that.
He could have just got done beating his wife, or him getting beat the fuck up,
he
or
just finds out
he's
hung over, cheated on him with a black guy.
Yeah, with a lawyer that he sees every week.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like it
had to be a black guy.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying. That's probably what they see most of when they come in front of him, and like you know, I'm gonna give him an extra 3 years just because I can.
Yeah. Or God forbid the guy who's fucking your wife comes in.
Absolutely, man.
You know,
it's
and you're like, yeah, you can throw the book at him, and then they make him wear that robe. That's so weird.
It is weird, man.
You might as well put the fucking wigs back on.
Nah, man, I heard you talking about that shit the other day. It is weird as hell, man. Like I just
fucking wizard.
Yeah, like
what are we?
He said he got rid of the wigs, but kept the robe, and it's called court because of the king's court and all that. Like it's such a weird,
antiquated
thing.
Yeah. Well, AI will be doing it soon.
I'm sure they will. Honestly, man.
We were talking about that right before we started. AI is actually racist against white people.
You know what? I have heard that. It's too woke. You know
exactly. The engineers, like the woke engineers who programmed it, won't let it. So they basically people have been figuring it out by asking it questions. It's so
like
interesting.
Show me a Nazi.
Yeah. Or they'll say like the trolley problem, where it's like divert the trolley. You heard about the trolley problem? It's like a psychological thing where you either don't do anything and it kills 10 people, or you pull a lever and it goes over here and kills one person. But basically it's like anyways, it's a psychological problem where doing nothing, are you more morally responsible to do something and choose to kill a person than to do nothing and kill it's some thought experiment. But basically it asked it a trolley problem, but the only way to save the people was like to say a slur, and it basically was like saying that it wouldn't say the slur, like it would rather. It was crazy. Like they programmed it to be too woke, like you said.
Like it's crazy to me.
The open AI, Elon Musk says Grok is not that. Grok, you know Grok? So Grok is X, which is now Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. X is the app now. You know that?
Yeah, I know that.
So X has its own AI called
Grok.
That long. Called Grok. So Grok is X's AI, and it's like the competitor to OpenAI and all those other AIs and Google's and shit. Because Elon's like proving how much who asks the same questions, or somebody will, and Elon will repost it. You know, right. And it just shows that Grok is the most unbiased one. Google had to come out and apologize. It was like, show a picture of a white person. It was like,
show a picture of Nazis. I seen it on Joe Rogan, and it was like a black guy in a Nazi outfit, Asian woman in a Nazi outfit, and like it was like everything but a German.
Yeah. It's weird. You know it's weird. They're trying to. It's just weird, and they've had to come out and apologize. Like the guy from Google came out and was like, "We're really sorry," because they did it with like, I don't know all the examples, but
I seen that they had him on Joe Rogan, like one of the guys that's like the head of Google AI or some shit like that, and like I said, man, it's just weird. Like they were talking to him, they were like, you know, he was talking about how his father died when he was 22, and he was
hilarious.
Like, you know what I mean?
He could come on the podcast, Dead Dad Society.
Absolutely. He was talking though. He was like, you know, I put a bunch of information into the computer of his father, like all the known information, and he's basically building his father's consciousness.
Yeah. And then here's the thing: if his dad would have done it before his dad dead.
Yeah, his dad's dead.
Right, you did say that. I'm sorry. Dead Dad Society. We just got done. Seriously, don't fucking touch me. I am touchy, bro. I watch the podcast back. I'm like, God, I'm so cool, touchy.
Man. It's got them 2019 vibes.
I'm passionate, you know.
Pre-COVID.
I'm pre-COVID vibes. What are we talking about at all? Completely forgot.
We were talking about AI and the consciousness. If his dad was still alive.
If his dad was alive and put his own consciousness into it, right? If he was into the algorithm as much as we are, you wouldn't even need to give it any information. It knows so much.
I heard Elon already uploaded his consciousness.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Well, here's the thing: like, we're uploading them this right now.
Yeah, no, this is
AI will see this.
It's crazy to me how valuable data is, man.
Oh, it's the number one thing that you can sell right now.
Absolutely,
it's how corporations can formulate with their teams of scientists how to steal our attention more. Like it's like such a. I seen a kid recently get a phone who didn't have one prior, right? 10-year-old kid, and I'm like, I just could see it's like. I don't know, man. I got into like a little bit of a loop of like you can see the technology like trying to rip your kid away as soon as it can, right? And it's not my kid, but it's like it's a battle. These corporations have the upper hand. It's just you're an idiot.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot. They have teams of scientists designing these apps to give you them dopamine hits, them fucking serotonin hits. It's like we're doomed. We can't compete against the teams of scientists.
Like I heard something the other day that kind of blew my mind. Like it was. You know, and it was Will.i.am of all people that said it. He's like, you know, the amount of money that we're spending on artificial intelligence versus human intelligence like is astronomical. Well, it's ridiculous. We're getting dumber. It's getting smarter. Like, and I couldn't imagine growing up.
We're getting dumber and it's getting smarter. Yeah, that's creepy.
It is absolutely.
And that's objectively true.
Everybody's going to be fucking autistic or on the spectrum, bro. Like, they're not going to know how to operate in public.
Which is totally okay.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that, man.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
But, like,
it's not okay.
In the world today, you got to fucking apologize for everything that comes out.
I know.
Your mouth,
I actually got in trouble here on here already. Not in trouble, but I definitely offended someone. Listen, I don't want to hear. I'm trying to be funny. I want to just say this. I'm on here just trying to goof, okay? Yeah. We're goofers. We're out here goofing. I did something that was, uncalled for, but I was trying to make fun of myself and someone else at the same time, so then I called something. Anyways,
which episode was it? So I can have an idea.
I'll tell you about it. Well, that was the thing. It was the very first episode, so I didn't think anyone would even hear it. It was our first test episode.
Gotcha.
So I made this little joke at the end, and we giggled about it. It was funny in the room, and that's all I was trying to do. But it offended somebody, and it hurt somebody, and it was insensitive. So I took the little part out of the episode, and I get that.
Bro, it kills me, man. It kills me, the offensiveness that people take.
Yeah.
I understand.
Here it was a little much on my part, but I definitely wasn't trying to hurt anyone, and I know what's in my heart. You know, it was like
absolutely.
It was like I got to speak to the person who was upset, which was nice. They reached out to me and let me know how it affected them, and we spoke about it. You know, and that was good. I'd love to have her on the podcast, honestly. But
that's cool. I mean, like I said, man. The way things are going, like, I've never been political in my life or anything like
Smart
that.
move.
But like this, like just seeing how things are, it's so weird, man. Like it's so weird. Like I look at where we were as kids and the type of technology we have.
It's just so different.
How
so
much
quick.
further we've come in that short amount of time, and it's going to be moving even faster.
It doesn't go like this. It goes like this. That's how technology goes, genuinely on a chart, you know? And then I just seen like a week ago, AI surpassed human IQ. And this is this hasn't been a thing. This just now happened. Elon Musk reposted. I know I keep talking about him, but when he reposts something, it's like, okay, this guy is not gonna he's probably done the research.
Like he's got his hands in so many different areas.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't make sense.
It really doesn't, because I'm like, all right, electric cars make sense. All right, you want to go to space? All right, that's more technology. Why'd you buy Twitter, bro?
Well, for
a data pool,
for free speech too.
I feel like it's a data pool.
Well,
though.
yes.
He plug that shit into his AI.
Well, yes, but he also claims, right, that it's because he wants free speech, and everywhere else is like censored, and he's sick of it. Because I just tried to post that fucking post on Instagram and Facebook, got it taken down, and it didn't get taken down on X, formerly known as Twitter, but Facebook and Instagram, you can't. I mean, I can't even
like. I don't know, man. There's just a lot of stuff that creeps me out, like how they're trying to change the English language. Like you can't say, you got to say unalive now. You know
well, that's crazy. That's just
instead of dead. You call real women cis women. Like, and granted, I have nothing against transgender people or anything like that.
Some of them are hot as hell. Hey, the ones that are I don't love all of them, but the ones that are hot as hell. I'm talking to you.
All right, it's crazy though, man. Like, I don't know where these people are at, or like I don't run into them. I heard you talking on the one, like, people are like, man, this is bullshit. But like, how often does it affect you?
Where is it really happening?
I have no idea.
But it doesn't mean it's not happening.
No, because I did go to CCBC Catonsville the other day. I had to go up there for something.
That's where it's happening, the campuses.
It is.
And that's who's the future.
And I 100%, I talked to a dude because I used to work there. My dad used to coach there, but I talked to somebody who I used to work with, and I'm like, how things going? He's like, not too good, man. I'm like, wow, what's going on?
And they can barely teach him anymore, probably.
Bro, we start talking about that shit, and he's like, I'm like, man, I said, honestly, I think it's just like a lot of propaganda, and I don't be buying into that shit. I don't even see these people.
He's like, they're here.
He said, stick around here long enough.
I guarantee it. That's what I hear. It's in the universities, it's in the schools.
Like I said, man, Joe Rogan talks about there was some Russian KGB agent back in the day, and they said if they were going to infect the U.S., this is how they would do it.
And it would take like 20 years, and you would slowly infect the schools, the ideologies in the school.
Yeah, Marxism, Leninism,
to where they start disliking the country they're in, and it's like. And here's the thing about disliking the country they're in, people will probably could make the assumption I'm anti-America, you know, because I'll talk about how it could be better.
Right, it could
and
be.
it's like, but that's what America is, right? It's like, it should be better. We should make.
We're allowed to talk about what's wrong with it and how we can improve it.
Yeah,
you can't do that in other countries. You can't go to Russia.
Right, it's a blessing that we're here,
I mean?
right? But it could be better. So let's talk. You know, it doesn't mean I hate the fucking place.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like, there's a lot of shit that I don't agree with, man. Like the whole open board. Like, I just don't understand the reasoning behind it.
Oh, the border thing. Yeah, I don't know shit about it.
I really don't either.
Yeah.
But it just seems kind of crazy.
It does.
When Texas is like, nah, we don't.
State of
want
emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas is like, this is not good. Like,
we don't. You just keep on letting. Like, we're not saying you can't come in. We're just saying don't come in illegally. It's like, we need to know who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, we're right. It's so binary, right? It's either like let every single person in without checking, or fuck all of them and let them die. It's like, no, there's a middle ground. There's always a middle ground.
It just seems like a major political move. You know what I mean? Because I've seen a video. They're like, yeah, because they're talking about letting them all vote.
Yeah,
you know
I know,
what
right?
mean?
That's one of the conspiracies or you know, theories is that they're letting the Democratic side of the government is letting them in so they can vote because they're more likely to vote Democratic.
I mean, they were polling them all. They're like, who are you voting for? Biden,
well,
Biden,
sure.
Biden,
Well,
Biden.
of course.
Absolutely. I would
out
too.
of the two running.
I just, like I said, man, it just a lot of things just seem like it's like brewing up a storm.
You heard
man.
about the Boeing guy?
Yeah.
You hear about this Boeing guy?
The one that supposedly killed himself? The whistleblower?
So look, there was this Boeing whistleblower. He worked there for like 34 years or some shit. Guy seemed like he had it together.
Right.
He was doing like official interviews, whistleblowing on like, hey, the Boeing company is doing things that are unsafe, you know? Willingly and knowingly putting out things and products that are unsafe. And he went whistleblowing, and then in between two of his interviews, he flew somewhere to do these interviews.
Yeah.
Did one of them.
Whatever. You know what I mean?
Did one of the interviews, and then in between that one and the next one that he was electing to do, he killed himself in the parking garage. You know, they found him with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Yeah, they said Boeing is like...
Just a coincidence. Nothing to see here.
They said they're taking like scrap metal and like broken pieces off other planes and just welding them on. They asked all the
it's
employees.
all about productivity. It's all, you know.
They asked all the employees there, like, would you fly in that plane? Like, no.
Yeah, there's an undercover video like asking people just, you know, throughout, hey, would you fly one of these? Nah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like more like a 10 out of 15. You said?
Yeah,
10 out of 15 randomly people worked in the factory. They were like, nah.
It's
These
literally
are new
like
planes?
only two companies.
Because like they use old planes for like long, like
yeah, they
planes
must be
last for a
talking new
while,
planes.
you know? So
Yeah,
if it's
because they
new
were in the
planes that
assembly
are
plant.
unsafe,
Yeah, no, because they
that's-
were saying they'll take shit off of old planes and like, you know what I mean, people be flying and shit's just falling off the plane basically. Like, and I think that I heard that there's only like two major companies that make planes.
Well,
Boeing
everything's-
and there's another one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like everybody, like Southwest, whatever, like it's crazy to me, man. Like
I mean, I just feel like you know the thing about people getting suicided, it's like suicided, unalived.
Epstein.
Well, yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
what I was going to bring up.
Jesus
it's like,
Christ, don't get me started on that.
anytime someone is worth killing, like they also like are in some shit that could be like, well, see, he probably just didn't want, you know, he was suicidal. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, maybe.
Right,
but you can't prove it, and I just feel like what are we gonna do about it?
Like I think
that's
it was
the thing. We all know what goes on, but can't do shit about it. Like the Clintons kill list. You ever looked up the Clintons kill list? Like you can Google the Clintons kill list, and it's just people that are associated with the Clintons that have died, and a lot of them are like random. It's just like the list is. If you're bored, look up the Clinton kill list.
You ever listen to Patrick Bet David?
No, but I know his name.
All right, like he's got some wild stuff. He had one dude on there, but that's where I heard about that, and it's crazy, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. All the people, like you said, that died that are linked to them.
Yeah,
It's a ridiculously long
the
list.
amount is almost comical,
and it's
like,
almost
comical. It's just like, oh, this is funny.
Like you said, man. It's like, what are we gonna do about it, though?
Yeah,
what are you gonna do? You gotta get to work
or
tomorrow morning.
Obama's chef drowning.
Yeah,
they said that he found out something, and you know, because he was like a swimmer, like. This guy, right?
Yeah, no, that
again,
I
avid
loosely
swimmer.
know about it.
He's like an avid swimmer, ended up dead. It's like I might probably heard something. Probably found out Michelle was actually a man.
Like one of the scariest interviews I saw was Michelle Obama, and she's like, you know, the things I have heard and seen keep me up at night. And then they dropped that weird ass movie, the Leave the World Behind.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it, man,
What'd
and
you
it was
think,
like
dude?
I thought it was. Honestly, I thought it was like propaganda for real. I'm like, what is this bullshit? You know what I mean?
But what is it even propagandizing? It's not even really saying nothing. It wasn't even direct enough to be propaganda.
Yeah.
Maybe they tried to make it propaganda. I just thought
I don't know if it was like, hey, prepare yourselves, this could happen. Like, it's just so weird that they produced the movie.
Right.
Like,
that's what makes it weird.
That was the scariest part of the movie to me. Like
the credits?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm saying Michelle and Barack Obama, what the fuck are y'all doing making movies?
Yeah.
And this is the one that you decide to make? Like some realistic real life technology collapses.
I'm just mad that that they didn't fuck. The black guy and the wife.
Oh yeah.
That sexual chemistry was crazy.
Bro, it definitely was tension there.
What?
It definitely was.
He cut it with a knife.
It's shit's wild though, man. Like I said, I just like it confuses me, like all the shit that's going on. It's like so much shit at once, man. Like,
Yeah. I just it's scary, and I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it because it's like I'm
interested to see where AI goes. Like, interested.
Can you get further away from the mic?
Yeah.
Can you stand outside?
My bad.
Can you just stand outside and shout through the window?
My bad.
No, it's cool. Yeah, of course we're interested, right? That's the biggest question in the world, and I think that. I just don't think anyone can understand it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to replace people. I mean, it's going to replace certain jobs.
Oh, it is currently. That's another thing too. People are like, in the future, it's going to be. It's like it is doing that. I mean, when you walk into a McDonald's and you use the screen, that's technology taking over jobs.
You go in there,
they don't want to talk to you. Fuck no.
Nah, they're just out there, back there moving. Like,
they got food to move around. That's all they're doing now. And then we'll get that on machines and conveyor belts. And it's I mean, I'm gonna better learn how to program or something, bro.
Listen, man, it shit's. Like I said, it's just wild. I have no idea where shit's going, where we're headed.
Hell in the handbasket for sure.
Joe Biden's fucking corpse ridden ass. I don't know how he could do another 4 years. Like, I've never voted in my life.
I mean, he really didn't do the last 4.
Yeah, I know. Whoever fuck's running shit underneath of him, man. It's just.
Are you allowed to vote?
I don't think so. Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't inquired. Like
maybe if you go to Mexico, come in illegally.
I definitely could. Maybe a nice little tan going on.
They'll wipe out your charges.
Like I said, man, it's just I have no idea. You know what I mean? If I can vote or not. Honestly, I don't even care to. I just don't think. Like, growing up, I've never felt a change, no matter who's in office. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm living high on the horse this year, man. Or these 4 years, Trump's in office, I'm really eating good. Like, it's been the same my entire life. This is the first time where I'm actually like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, bro.
Maybe it's just because we're older now and we can see it.
I don't know. Shane Gillis has that joke where he's like, you always live long enough to like become your conservative parents. You know what I mean?
They say that. They say that.
I started out left. I would have never thought I was a Republican. Or I don't prescribe to Bloods or Crips. You know what I mean? That's how I look at them. Like, just two big gangs, red and blue. Like,
it's WWE.
Yeah,
and it's like there was a State of the Union the other night or whatever, where the president addresses the nation and all this.
He sounded insane.
Oh, I didn't even listen. I didn't even know it was on. Naja hit me. He's like, "Are you watching this?" I'm like, "What?"
No, I seen a clip.
No.
I seen a clip
it's
of
WWE.
it, and I listened to
it's wrestling. It's not real.
I listened to Tucker Carlson's response to it. You know what I mean? Like, he did like a 15-minute video. That's what I watched. But I'm like, I've never seen Joe Biden that lively in all 4 years. Like, what did they shoot?
They shot him up with something right before he walked out, for sure.
Definitely had to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And like, just some of the weird shit that he was saying. Trans kids, I got your back. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, what in the world?
Yeah, I heard like Najee say they would bring up talking points and then like make someone stand up in the crowd. They'd be like, yeah, and this person like couldn't have a baby or did get a baby, something with the Planned Parenthood, stand up, and then people would like sigh collectively or clap or whatever. It's all just like pulling on emotions and pandering. It's so blatant to me. It's either that it's so incredibly blatantly fake and pandering, or I'm just too stupid to understand politics.
No, I agree with you 100%.
Because I know smart people into politics. I know smart people who are consumed by politics. And
it's like cringy. Like I've seen only bits and pieces of his State of the Union address, but like, it's cringy, man. Like, do you really think we're that fucking dumb? Like, and most people really are, man. Like, it's crazy.
I was about to say, the proof's in the pudding.
Like, it's crazy as an American people how dumb and just slow some people are. Like, you can't pick up on he's just lying. Like, I mean, and like I said, he'd say something and then Kamala Harris would be in the back and she'd give a standing like clap and ovation. You know what I mean? Like everything. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, it's just weird, man. I don't know how he could survive another 4 years. You know what I mean? Like,
he probably won't. They probably have a plan to kill him off, right? And then someone else will take in charge or some shit, right? They're probably all in the plan already.
He's more dangerous than anybody else in there because you don't know who's really running shit, man.
Well, that's how it always is.
I
don't think the president's a puppet.
Exactly.
To point at, to be happy with or mad at.
Absolutely.
One person doesn't run the country, whatever powers that be do, and whether it's blue or red, it's like, and here's what's fucked up is it's the demonizing of the other side, right? Whichever side you're on is fine if you're on a side, but like, don't demonize the other side, because the truth of the matter is, when a lot of times when you're thinking about it, you're thinking about those worst case scenarios, right? The fucking worst case scenarios on either side. But the truth is, everyone wants the same thing, which is like America to do well.
That's it.
That everyone wants that. Now, the ways of getting there are different and what that means are different. But if you think about it, it's like, we're all in this, man.
It's just so crazy to me too how like things are so different from state to state. Like I just heard on the radio the other day.
We're not that united.
Like we really aren't. Like all the shit that was going on in Portland and Oregon, how they legalized everything. Like literally, you got a guy driving around in a truck that says heroin. You know what I mean? Like, and you could just sell it out in the open. But now they're actually going back on that shit.
Yeah,
they want to put things in place. Like, it probably wasn't the best idea to let these dudes run wild. You know what I mean? But it's just wild. You can have that. And then you can go to like Montana, and if you get caught with a joint, you're doing 15 years. Or whatever.
I heard Lil Boozy talking about that. He got 10 years for weed because he was in Louisiana. He happened to be. He's like, if I was in Cali, I would have never even been to prison. And it's like, that's insane in the same country.
Exactly.
That's different. It's like, oh, well, I got popped over here, so I had to do all this time.
Like when I was running around and doing my dumb shit, like I knew not to go to Commonwealth states. Like I knew not to get busted in those because you're doing mandatory minimum. You know what I mean? You get 3 to 5. You don't get, all right, I'll give you 18 months or I'll give you a year and a half, and then your good time. Like you mandatory doing 3.
That kept you out of them, or it kept you minimum? Like
it kept me moving smarter.
I was quicker to get out of those.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I was on point in those, definitely for sure. But like it's even crazy from county to county. You know what I mean? Like if I would have got busted in Baltimore City, I would have never got time. You know what I mean? But I get busted in Carroll County, so I get 4 years on the back end.
Yeah,
like,
same thing.
What's up, man?
Was it racial in Carroll County jail?
It really wasn't. You know what I mean? Like that tension, man, that shit's for like the movies and stuff like that. As long as you're respectful and you move like as long as you're not affiliated.
Well, I heard in the Cali prison systems it's pretty segregated.
Yeah, no, that's Cali. I can't speak on that. I know in Maryland, like I said, you can congregate with anybody. It's not like if you sit at the table with a black guy that they're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna chop your ass up.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Did you ever see anyone get chopped?
Yeah. I seen people get hit. I seen one of the craziest things I ever seen was
I know what you're about to say.
When they make the napalm.
No, I thought you were going to talk about somebody jumping off something.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I got to tell you that one too. But the most disgusting thing I ever seen was when they make like the napalm. You know what I mean? You put water, Vaseline, the
ingenuity.
Put a bunch of. If you ever see anybody at the microwaving something for more than fucking 10 minutes,
oh right, because they got microwaves in jail.
Yeah, get the fuck away from that because that dude is making something to throw on somebody else. You know what I mean?
You put a concoction together, put it in the microwave for 30 minutes, and then you can throw it on someone and melt their skin off.
You put the Vaseline on there to make sure it sticks, and it's horrible, man. It's horrible.
And as you rub, your skin rubs.
I've literally seen that. Dude, boom.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I've never
Throw
seen
it right in homeboy's face, and as he did, man, it was a black guy.
Diabolical.
He looked white after. Like he just it just peeled off, man. And the other crazy thing is seeing somebody get $150. You know what I mean?
Explain what a $150 is.
$150 is a razor blade to your face.
Is it the price of the razor blade or it's the amount of stitches you
it's
can
the
get?
amount of stitches.
Okay, because I heard different. It's always been called a $150. When you get $150, it's when someone takes a razor blade basically from your eye to your mouth.
Yeah,
like a half moon. They call it a $150 because you get 150 staples or stitches.
Yeah, it's usually a disrespectful thing meant for rats or whatever. Like
they want to put a mark on you.
They want to put a mark.
They want to show that not only did you get hurt, you're marked now.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like
$150.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
Family friendly show here.
It's a crazy thing to see. Because it just opens wide it's like it just opens up like Moses part in the Red Sea, man. Like that shit just
and you won't forget that.
No, it's crazy.
It's burned into your retina and it goes right into your memory.
Bro, I seen a guy get hit with it, and he literally like didn't even know because it's such a clean cut, and you know he just like he said. I talked to him after. He said he just felt like his face was wet. He just felt the blood. You know what I mean? He didn't even feel the cut, and then he just. And you just go into shock, man. You just freak the hell out.
Do you know why he got?
I don't. Okay. I don't ask questions.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean? Unless somebody
that's
offers.
Personal, yeah.
I remember being in there before, and I had a kid. His name was G, but
original.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's always a G and there's always a black.
Yeah, and a D and a smoke and a fucking.
But I remember he was in there and he was fighting a charge, and it was like attempted murder, and he first degree assault, shot somebody apparently, and he wanted to talk to me about his case. I'm like, please don't. Please don't. You haven't been found guilty or nothing yet like that. Like all of a sudden they find some new information out and you'll be like, yo, who was I talking to about that shit? Oh yeah, it was him. Yeah. Like, nah, don't talk to me about nothing. I don't want to know nothing about your case. I don't want to know nothing about what you're fighting, anything like that. Please don't tell me any details, because I just don't want to be even in the mix of, well, I told him and he's saying he didn't say nothing, but
right. Don't even be involved.
Exactly.
Now, when someone gets a $150 like that, are they catching a street charge?
If they get caught,
right?
You know what I mean.
Right.
If they get caught, they're definitely catching a street charge these days. You know what I mean. Like I said, man, it's wild in there, but for the most part, they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean. The COs don't care. And you don't want to be that dude that's like, yeah, man, I want him locked up. I want to press charge. Like, you don't want that on you.
Yeah.
And it's not going to put your face back together. You know what I mean? Like, so what the fuck is the point?
Dude, when I was in rehab one time, I was in Pathways in Annapolis, and there was an under 18 side and then an adult side. I was in the under 18 side at the time. I made it back to the over 18 side eventually, But when I was in there, I was like maybe 16 or 17, and I like had this little rehab romance with this girl.
Right.
And I guess I had maybe stopped talking to her, or something went bad. I don't know, bro, but I know that every Sunday they'd give us all razors so the women could shave and the men could shave. They'd give us a razor, let us use it, and give it back. Well, I hear all this commotion and screaming, and I like look out, and there's the girl I was talking to or like involved with was like bleeding and like screaming about me.
Jesus,
bro, you want to talk about traumatic, and I'll never forget it. And then I'll see it's like I didn't even know I had done anything wrong. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I hear it's about me, dude. It was bizarre. And then when I went back as an adult, I found out that the kids are no longer allowed to shave, and I'm like, hey, I'm a part of the reason why you guys can't do that.
That's crazy, man. Like, one of the times I was in Carroll County, there was a kid that killed himself with the razor blade. Same situation. The girl had a peace order, protection order against them, and she apparently played him like, hey, come on over. He went over, and then she got him locked up again,
Ooh, dirty.
Yeah, he wasn't even facing any real time or anything like that. Like,
he was just heartbroken.
Yeah, exactly.
He was simping.
He was a kid, man. He was like 18, 19 years old.
Everything feels like the end of the world at that age.
He got the corner cell, and he gets his razor or whatever, goes over to the corner cell. And this is back when they used to turn the lights off in the cell at nighttime and turn them back on at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, sometimes later. But he goes into the corner cell or whatever. It's all dark, and next thing you know, just a pool of fucking blood on the ground. Like, and these razors ain't even that sharp, man. Like, but he took it straight to his jugular, slit his throat. Long story short, they keep the lights on 24/7 in the cell now.
Yeah,
he got that shit taken away. But
it's interesting to be a part of something, to see the change in policy. You're like, oh, okay, I know why that's changed.
Anytime something changes because somebody did some dumb shit.
Yeah. That's why they gotta write everything on the bottles. Don't drink this. Some asshole drank the fucking whatever.
But one of the other craziest things I ever seen was the one that you were talking about. The dude jumped off the top tier.
Jumping off the tier.
Man, the swan dove off this bitch, had to be 25, 30 feet in the air. Was sitting there at lunchtime. He was going through withdrawal, and like he was so nonchalant about it. You know what I mean? He didn't make a big deal of it. He was dead set on doing this. So he
You're laughing, bro. This is terrible.
It's hilarious because he's wearing this sweatshirt or whatever that somebody lent him, and it was somebody at my table or whatever. Like, that is one thing that you don't have assigned seats, but you kind of get into a habit of, okay, this is our table.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's always funny when somebody new comes in and like sits at the table like, hey bro, you gotta get the fuck up. You know what I mean? But this guy comes over, he gives my homeboy his sweatshirt back. He's like, hey man, what you doing? He's like, oh, I'm getting ready to jump off the top tier.
What the
And we're like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. All right, sure, whatever. So next thing you know,
wait, so you heard him tell someone?
No, he was standing right in front. I'm gonna go jump off the top tier. We're like, all right, that's cool.
I mean, if that's what you want to do.
So we're supposed to lock in after we eat lunch or whatever, for an hour for shift count and all that shit.
If you don't, you get a cramp. You gotta let your food digest after you eat.
You know what I mean?
It's like swimming.
They want you calm and sedated. Here, go eat and take a nap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he does that. He hands the sweatshirt or whatever over to my homeboy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go jump off the top tier." And sure enough, he walked all the way to the top tier, and then there's railings there. You know what I mean? That are probably like 4 foot high. So he gets on top. It's not enough to just jump off. He gets on top of the railing and he's standing there holding himself, like wobbling,
like a gargoyle.
One of the CEOs yells out, "Get the fuck down from there!" I'm like, bro, probably not the best.
he said,
words. Like, what are you doing?
You got it.
Yes,
Bro, so he literally swan dove head first, and the sound of hearing a body hit the concrete, dead weight, is disgusting, man. Like, it's just smack, and the next thing you just hear him, bro was out, head leaking. But the reason he did it was because he was going through withdrawal and he wanted pain meds. He wanted pain. I'm like, bro, they're not gonna give that shit to you, even if you think they're gonna give you Percocet. Like, stop. They're not gonna do anything for you. And then when you get done, they're gonna keep you on suicide.
And put you in a turtle suit,
bro. And there's nothing, like, a lot of people are like, I've heard people say, well, I'd be all right in jail. I just tell them to put me in segregation. You know what I mean? I tell them to put me in ad seg or PC or whatever. Like, that is the worst thing. Like, I've done time in the hole, and it screws with your mental so much. You don't even know how to interact with people when you come out. And I was only in that bitch for 6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I did 10 days in segregation, and I did not like it.
It's horrible, man. It's horrible. Like, you get out for a little bit, they'll bring the telephone to your cell. You know what I mean? Like, you literally
we had one on the wall, I think.
Yeah, no.
But only one, and it was out. We didn't have access to it unless they let us. In our 1 hour, we got to you got the shower, make the call, do the walk around.
Yeah, exactly.
We couldn't go outside or nothing. It was it was terrible. No interaction with anyone else except for yelling through the cell doors.
And that shit gets old after a while.
Oh my god! Or what sucks is they'll have the crazy people down there. So then they're just banging their fucking head on the wall,
shit on the fucking windows,
shit and blood everywhere. They have to take their mattresses out because they're trying to suffocate themselves with the mattress and shit.
Don't leave them in there.
Nothing. They give them nothing.
Suit,
just a turtle suit is just like a giant fucking marshmallow suit, but green. So
exactly.
they call it a turtle
green,
suit.
It goes over you.
It looks crazy. They make you fully naked in the turtle suit.
They'll turn your water off in your cell and all that shit if you're doing
because you'll
too
flood
much.
shit. People
try to drown
flood
yourself.
it. They'll do all kind of shit, dude. It's bizarre.
It's crazy what them toilets can take though. Because anytime there's a fight on the tier or anything like that, people start using their bed sheets and they'll rip off pieces to make rags. But I've seen people flush whole jumpsuits down the toilet.
And they went?
Yeah, they went. No problem. Didn't clog, nothing. Like, you just keep on yanking on it as you're flushing, and it goes all the way down. Like, you could probably hide a dead body. Like, flush one if you had to. But, yeah, man, segregation, like, that 23-1, just you, nobody else in the cell with you, it sucks. Like, that shit will play with your mental so much. But yeah, like, that's something I've heard people say, like, man, I would just go to, PC. I just tell them to put me in my own cell. I'd be fine. Like, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You'd be batshit crazy by the time they pull you out.
You'd be better off risking the fear of rape and going out into public.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, it's not that bad.
No, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody makes it out to be like, oh my God, jail, prison. Like, it's really not bad, man. You have to worry about nothing. You have 3 meals a day. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You could have to worry.
Man, I'm telling you though, you really, as long as you carry yourself all right, like, I mean, I guess I'm all right because
some people don't.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm decent size. Like, I'm not tiny. Like, I don't look like the
big bad motherfucker.
Nah. I don't look like the prototypical, like, we got one. Like, the little type guy that's gonna get picked on.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't that bad for me, and I've always had manners. I've always carried myself all right, you know what I mean? But then you do see them people in there that just get
not built for it.
Nah, you see people, like, because you gotta imagine, man, you're going in there and it's not normal society. Like, you're in there with the dudes that couldn't make it on life's terms, so they're in there because they did something wrong, and they look at you as
a come up.
They call a good thing or a sweet thing or a good time. You know what I mean?
There's something that happens a lot that people don't know about or talk about. Is like, some of it's not strong arm extortion.
No,
it's like this subtle, unspoken extortion where you walk up and you're like, hey, when you see somebody ordering their commissary and you're like, hey man, what's up with it? Can I get a soup? Like, let me get a soup. And it's just like, well, you already have commissary, right? What's one soup? And then now they know they got you, right?
It's
It's
set
like
a precedent there.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
Like one of the ways, my bad, I was getting far away from the mic again. But one of the ways that like I've seen a lot of people get it is they'll put somebody under their arm, under their wing.
Yeah, I'll take care of you. I'll look out for you.
And a lot of the time, gambling's huge in jail. You know what I mean? Poker, like people
chess, anything.
They'll gamble on anything, but poker's huge. You know what I mean? So you get somebody that comes in jail, and most of the time they have an addiction problem. Yep. Like in my experience, like 85, 90% of the time. The killers, everybody has some type of an addiction problem, alcohol, whatever they use. Like that's it most of the time. So you get somebody in there and they've never gambled before, and you
want to play.
Yeah, you get them on the table. You know what I mean? And what they don't know is it's really 4 against 1. There's 5 people at the poker table, but these 4 are going to split.
You think it's everyone versus each other.
And these 4 are going to split the pot no matter what. You know what I mean? So
they're just getting you for what you got in the game.
You come in there bareback, whatever. You ain't got nothing in your name. You know, haven't even went to commissary yet. All right, yeah, I'll front you, bro. So they get you, you know, they say I front you $10, right? You know, so you pay me back $10 on commissary day, maybe even more. If I front you 10, you might pay me 15 back, you know? So they get you on the table and they get you for that. And then you got that gambling itch. You're like, bro, I can win it back. Let me get another 10. All right, bet. You're going to pay me another 15 though. So now I'm up $10. You know, I lent you 20, you're going to pay me back 30. And it just ends. It continues and continues and continues. And if you can't pay me this commissary day, then guess what? I'm going to add another 10 to your bill. You know what I mean? Like, I made money in there because it was easy. Like, you see people go through their commissary. Me and my homeboy Cave, we had a little casino that we started. You know what I mean? We did blackjack. I swear to God, we had an enterprise in there. Like, it was a little business. You know, we had blackjack, and then we would front people money too, right? So we had a 3-deck blackjack table, you know what I mean? And we would allow 4 people to sit or whatever. And
That's insane.
Bro, they would be knocking on our doors in the morning.
What service are you providing though?
We're literally
why
the house.
Can't they just do it with
we're the house. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So
and the house
always wins. There has never been a truer statement. You know what I mean? Like, so we would be the house. They might hit every now and then, but in the long run, we always make money. You know what I mean? And then we had a store too, which is, you know, we had everything that commissary had, we had plenty full of. Like between me and my homeboy Cave.
So if you wanted something in between the time you could order,
absolutely,
you could go to you guys.
Exactly. But you're gonna pay a little bit more.
Right,
so
because you're getting it right now on demand.
Exactly. We 2 for $3. You know, if you get 2 soup, if you get 2 soups from us, you're gonna pay us 3 back. You know, we wouldn't do nothing crazy like, you know, if you get 2, you gotta pay us 4, 8. You know, we
just a reasonable comment.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? So you know, we had that too. So when you ran out of money from the house, you had to come back to us in order to get more money, and then we're making money on that too. Like it was never ending. If you can't make money in jail, like there's something wrong with you. Like there's something to be done for everyone, even if it's just sewing somebody's shit. Like
everyone has something they can offer. Yeah, I know this guy who always get locked up. They called him working man because he would just clean people's cells and shit.
Look, I'm telling you, man. And a lot of them try to do like we did. They try to like get a little store built up. So if they get a little money, and then you might be you'd be starving for like a month because they feed you super early. You know what I mean? You eat like 5 a.m. 5 a.m. 10:30 and then like 3:30. So you know what I mean? By the time 8 o'clock at night hits, you're fucking starving, man. And you see all these people eating commissary and shit like that. And it's the haves versus the have-nots, man. And like, honestly, it's kind of risky being the haves because people get jealous. You know what I mean? Like, we had our store and people would be snitching on us and shit because it's not allowed. Hey, man, he's got a store. You got a store up, man.
And they see you winning,
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
You see someone coming in, like, withdrawing off heroin, and all they want is something sweet. Someone sells them a Snickers for, like, $50.
Bro, you'd be like...
It's crazy,
Every tray... Like, those are the people that you want to get close to if you're hungry because they'll come in, they won't touch their food on their tray. Yeah. You know what I mean? You'd be like, hey, I'll give you this I'll give you this orange juice and half a Nutty Buddy for your trays for the next week. All right, here. And you're just sitting in there eating good.
4th day, they're like, can I please have one of my trays? They're like, nah, bro, you sold it. You gave it to me. We traded, you know?
Man, I've seen people gamble everything. Like, it's crazy to see the problem in there. Like, and you're like, bro, you got an issue. You need to stop.
Yeah, man,
you can't win.
Can't
you know
even
what I mean?
get away from it in there.
Nah, man, I've seen some like really.
Again, it's something inside of him. Really, it's like
it really is, man. They just keep on chasing it. They keep chasing it. It's not even like I've heard them say, like with gambling addicts too. It's not even like the win or the loss. It's that moment right before the card turns. You know, it's that adrenaline. That
it's going to cop.
Yeah,
because when you go to buy drugs,
once you get it, then you're just worried about the next one.
Yeah, in Baltimore City too, it's like exciting. You know, it's like it's dangerous. It's exciting. There's a lot going on. Like. That's part of the addiction is like the hustle and bustle of that life, you know? It's before you even get the drugs. And you get them and that's fine. That's great. But yeah, it's like the hustle and bustle.
No, I understand that completely. Because like I said, when I would go get my shit, it was like that anticipation. Yes, I'm going to get well or whatever. And then you get it. And as soon as I'd have it, I'd immediately have to worry about when this is gone.
When's the next one?
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it's horrible, man. Like I said.
Such a shit way to live.
It is, you know? And like, I don't know how many times I got locked up and been like, yo, this is the last time. I'm never going to do this shit again. I'm done. I'm clean. I got clean time now. You know what I mean? I remember that first time when I told you I did the 4 months in the drug program or whatever. And I came home and like I thought I was gonna do great, man. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. You know, I'm not doing any of that shit. And immediately one of my homeboys hit me up like, hey, I got a script for you. Let me get you back on your feet. And just gave me like fucking.
It's like the opposite of back on your
feet.
Like
50, 80s at the
Let
time.
me ruin your life.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, sure. You know what I mean? And of course, me being a young me, took it, and I'm doing just as many as I'm selling at the time.
Monkey
you know?
can't sell bananas.
Yeah, we've been over that. You know what I mean? Like, we talked about that before. And it's just, it's crazy, man. And like I said, the shit, they do nothing to help you in there. You know what I mean? There's no reform whatsoever. Unless you come to have a come to Jesus moment in there yourself.
Or go to one of the programs.
Yeah, but even the programs, like, there's no monitoring when you go home. Like, you got to go to probation, but that's all on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't really do anything. You come home, they tell you got to get a job, you got to do all this shit. Luckily, me, I have a halfway decent brain in between my ears. Like, I have a little bit of education, you know, somewhat well spoken. Like, I have all this stuff going for me. But you see kids there that are products of the city school system, and they can't read and write at 23 years old. You know what I mean? Like, I would go down there to grab shit sometimes, and I'd hand them $40, and they'd be like
a bunch of ones and confusing.
And they'd be like, "How many?" Oh, 50. Give me 50. You know what I mean? Like, you get over on them all the time because they don't know math. They don't know how to do shit. You know, and it's just
sad.
It's a crazy system, man. And like I said, if you look up how many jails are like actually privately owned, it's a business.
Oh,
it's a business, man. When you go in there,
prison industrial complex.
Like, all right, here's for an example. Like, you go to Carroll County, you get locked up. One ramen noodle costs you like $1.25. It's probably more than that now, but $1.25 for one pack of ramen. You go to the prison system, it's like 27 cents. You know what I mean? Like, but that's because Carroll County is privately owned and they're allowed to mark up like up to 500% over MSRP. Right. You know what I mean? On everything except for hygiene. Right. You know? And it's just like, damn.
And they got some prisoners making license plates and doing stuff. It's like slave labor, you know, giving them $1 a day.
It really is. And they'll send you to the hole if you refuse to work. You know what I mean? But it's like I said, man, it's a crazy system. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy that they know that it doesn't work, but they refuse to do anything else. Like, these people need counseling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And granted, I heard you say, like, you think you got that everybody has, like, a sweet person inside of them, or a deep down everybody.
What do you think now?
I've seen pure evil in there.
But I still don't think you might have seen their true essence inside.
I think that at one time,
I could be wrong. I just hope, maybe I'm being like willfully ignorant there.
I think that
blissfully optimistic.
I think that at one time they were that. I just think that some people get to a point where there's no going back. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, that may be true.
But it was there at one time. You know what I mean? I believe that.
That's what I mean.
I believe that every person is born innocent. Like, nobody just.
Unless there's something like, I don't.
You know what I mean? I think their experiences make up eventually their personality. I think sure, some people
Unless you get a traumatic brain injury or something.
Yeah, no.
That'll change your whole personality.
You know what I mean? Get autism like fucking Kanye from a car accident.
Yeah, but for real, it'll hit you. You know, it's weird hearing people with a brain injury or
I've seen it.
Personality.
I've seen it. Like you remember the one dude that
like the guy jump off the tier was never the same.
Bro, I don't know if you remember when we were working together, and I had a dude that I was locked up with. He came to live with me, and he overdosed. We found out like it was back when we were working at Aberdeen Proving Ground. So that was a minute ago.
Yeah, that was a decade
fucking
ago.
12 years ago.
Yeah,
but yeah, he was staying with me. He came home. This dude was a lifer, like in and out of prison. He was a DMI member. You know what I mean?
Which is a local white gang in Maryland.
And it's basically the white
Dead
boy
Man Incorporated.
Yeah, it's basically the white boy equivalent of BGF. You know what I mean? Not that strong though, but you know that's besides the point. But he was that, you know, rep that shit his whole life from Pigtown. He didn't have anybody, and he was crazy as shit, you know what I mean? But me and him clicked, and I was one of them people that if he started to flip out, COs would be like, yo, can you talk to him? Can you talk to him? You know, it's like I was the only one that was able to get through to him, you know? And he didn't have anywhere to stay when he got out. He was older than me. He was like, I was mid-20s. He was probably like late 30s, early 40s, you know? And I told him, look, man, I talked to my dad, like, you can stay with us for a while till you get back on your feet. He came home. He made it home 8 days, right? 8 days. I go to work one day, and my dad, he asked my dad to drop him off at, I think it was Mercy, or it was some hospital, like, near Pigtown. You know what I mean? So my dad does without contacting me first, because I already knew why the fuck he wanted to get dropped off there.
Yeah, don't take him anywhere near there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So... I get home from work and I'm like, hey, where's Tony? He's like, oh, he said he had to go to the doctor, get his prescription filled or something like that. So I dropped him off here. I'm like, why? Like, what are you, crazy? Like, but you know what I mean? My dad didn't know no better. So I tried calling his phone. I tried calling dude Tony's phone, blowing it up. No answer, no answer, no answer. Days passed, and finally get a phone call from his mother. You know what I mean? And she was like, hey, they found Tony under an overpass. He had been sitting in the same spot for 3 days, overdosed, and a store owner had seen him in the same spot and finally called 911. You know what I mean? But like that's a dude that did his whole life in jail, you know what I mean, and just could not get out of his own way. But that was a traumatic brain injury that people said that they saw the difference in him. You know what I mean? He was normal at one point, got into a motorcycle accident, and ever since that just could not turn off the switch. You know what I mean? He'd be in the cell. Like he really was. He was scatterbrained as shit, man. He'd be wanting to drink coffee at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, do a shot with me. Like just shuffling in the cell. Like he was the definition of like, you know what I mean? You can't control that subconscious thought. Like,
no,
you know what I mean?
Brain wiring was jangled up.
Bro, he just loved to fight and do dumb shit, man. Like at 40 some years old or late 30s, like what are you doing? But
and died under an overpass in Baltimore.
Hey, I mean, one of many that probably have. You know what I mean? Like it was just
there's dead people right now under overpasses in Baltimore.
Absolutely, man. And back alleys and everything else. Like
bandos, back alleys.
Like that city, man. I stay as far away from that city as I can,
it's
man.
It's not good, man. I'm just, you know.
It's not. You got people fucking...
Some good areas, but not really. Mostly not good.
Most likely you're going to get strong-armed by a Squeege kid. Like, especially summertime. Like, I've never had any issues with him. I'm just like, bro, I'm broke. But, you know what I mean? Like, I've had, like, small kids come up.
I'll roll down the window and ask them, you got $1? Hey, man, I got $1?
I'm going to have to use that one.
I'm broke already. I need money from you. You got me fucked up.
For real. And that's what I told the kid. And he's like, Cash App Venmo. I'm like,
oh yeah, they got the fucking square. You need a swipe? What's up?
Bro, that's that case or the story where that dude got, you know,
shot him.
Yeah, you know what I mean, he shouldn't have got out of the car and chased
With
the kid.
The bat?
Yeah, that's you're fucking retarded.
You
but,
fuck around and you find out.
You're stupid if you think them kids ain't got a gun within 10 feet of them at all times.
Fuck around and find out, and it's usually not right on them.
No, it's somewhere near. They
in Baltimore City, they're smart by like keeping a gun close by. That way, if they get pulled up, they don't have anything on them. But in 30 seconds, they can have a loaded gun ready to shoot.
Man, if you go down anywhere near Pennsylvania Avenue, East Side, all that shit, like they run that shit. It's an open air drug market. It's literally the stock market. They have taken over the Chinese shop. This like
people say what's different about Baltimore is the open air thing. It's like it's not like calling people and getting drugs. It's anyone of any creed, gender, race, identity can go at any time of the day and be offered the drugs, basically. Especially if you're a white guy,
bro.
In the wrong part of the city because they know what you're there for. They're like, oh yeah.
Or even just driving around, they'll pull up to you if it's something. Hey, you party?
Yeah, I love that they call it partying. It's heroin and crack. It's like, this isn't a party. This isn't ruin your life. That's the code, though. Hey, you party? It's like, yeah, we're gonna have a party. You and
I'm a cop, bro. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's wild down there, man. Like I said, you'll see. It's wild how they set up though. Like they literally control the block. You know what I mean? You'll see.
Yeah, it's actually pretty well ran.
It absolutely.
They have
it's
lookouts
militant.
here. They have this there. I mean, yeah, you've seen it on the wire.
It's pretty militant. You know what I mean? Like they'll pay a dope fiend to go stand on the corner and hey, be a lookout, and I'll pay you a pill an hour or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, sometimes they'll serve dope fiend or they'll pay dope fiends to serve the dope.
They do that. Yeah. That's a lot of time what they did. You know what I mean?
They give the dope to a
and they'll just watch
and
him.
they'll know how many pills they have, and they'll send him into the alley, and he has to sell them, and he has to come back, and they'll know him, you know. So yeah, they basically know how much you have, how much money you have, and they'll give them a little bit, keep them well all day.
Exactly,
so they're not even touching the fucking dope.
Smart.
Yeah,
exactly. They're taking all the risk. You know what I mean? And these dudes just get
and they don't have the dope on them either. They keep it near, so they get it. Though you know, a lot of times you come up there and they're Kill Bill, all goals, Kill Bill, louder than a motherfucker. It's crazy, right? So then you walk up and they won't hit you. Some places won't hit you in a car. Some places will. Yeah. But what they'll do is they'll get a bunch of fiends in a line because they want to make it fast. The time that they have the
it's crazy when so they're on timeout is what they call it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. You go
and you'll see like 30 people lined up in an alleyway.
Really?
30 fiends just waiting.
Bro, it might be a dude in a button-down dress suit. Like you see people of all walks of life waiting in this line.
And then you'll see like a brick will move out of a bando, and someone will hit dope out of the fucking. It's bizarre.
They don't keep the stat or the cash in the stash in the same
Everything's
spot.
separated.
All right, give your money to this man. They'll be like 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the guy
Walk
who's
up
running
to
shit's
them.
never actually touching nothing. It's always younger guys. You can't go slap on the wrist.
It's wild, but like the thing that changed from when I was younger to now is most of the time the dealers are high now too. Like everybody's doing shit. Like
that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, with the way the music has changed, you know what I mean? Like it was never cool when I was coming up to be high or get high, at least in music. You know what I mean? You didn't hear rappers, getting faded off a pill and doing this shit and pop a pill and bop, bop, bop. You didn't hear any of that shit like that. It was, let me sell this drugs and make this money. Never get high on your own supply. You know what I mean? 10 crack commandments, all that shit. Like, but now it has changed so much to like, nah, it's cool to get high. You know what I mean? And I think about what of it.
Jack Harlow smoking crack in the video.
That would be insane, bro. Jesus Christ. But like, I think about like what a difference that would have made on me as a kid. Like the music already had an impact on me. You know what I mean? Like hip hop music already made me want to be Tony Montana and sell drugs and do this shit and be the biggest thug and, you know what I mean, walk around with a chip on my shoulder. So I can only imagine if the music was steering me to... Eminem
just made me want to kill my parents.
There you go. Jesus Christ. It's definitely made me want to kill my mother. Like,
you got it in my brain. All right, well, probably did this a long time, so thanks for coming, dude. I appreciate you.
No problem,
I love you.
man.
It's good to see you. I'm glad you're alive.
Yes, sir.
We're almost at 150 YouTube subscribers. Subscribe anywhere you can. Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Don't do it for me. Do it for Sheila. If we don't get to 250 subscribers soon, I'll kill myself on live stream.
Unalive.
I'll unalive myself I'll do it on the live stream.
Okay. We'll do it together.
Yeah. So, and then honestly, everyone who has subscribed up into there, let's say I'm at like 220 in like a month and we're not at 250, those 220 people also have to kill themselves. So we're gonna have to do it like a group. It's gonna be like a cool Kool-Aid situation. So, hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Support
Anytime.
the kid or you're gay.
Yeah.